We're back with the fourth round of the 2022 Outlaws Sim Series season. But once horse track now hosts Super Late Models Monthly in the Outlaws NextGen Cup Series field, take to the same place 265 times over, all of which is coming up next on Pit Stop TV. Good evening all, and welcome to the virtual Nashville, Tennessee. Devin Zimmerman joining me on the call this evening. I am Emerson Arden, and Devin, our first short oval of the season. We're keen to the fact that these brakes, well, they aren't the greatest. These cars, they have now higher horsepower, 675 horses under them, out of these tight and high banked corners at that, making a scenario unlike no other. How on earth are these drivers supposed to make laps around here?
But really carefully, I mean, this track very narrow, but also very fast with the high bank turns. Kind of reminds me of just a little bit less than Bristol almost. But with the narrowness of this track, any incident could result in a big accident. So you got to be extremely careful. And you see it on the screen there. Turns 1, 2, 3, 4 looks very symmetrical to this Nashville Fairgrounds, and it is. I mean, the banking, we don't have the information there on your screen from what I can see, but it's definitely just a little bit less than it is at Bristol. But again, very short track here, just a little bit over a half a mile there, clocking it at 0.596. I see it there, 35 degrees of banking. On the turn, or in the turns there, down to 18 degrees of banking. But it is an interesting track to have these cars go to say the least. It's going to be really interesting to see how these drivers deal with it, with the brake situation that is in these cars. They're not the best with these heavy stock cars, but I mean, if there's any team of drivers that can do it, I am sure it is these Outlaw Sim Series drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it's 18 degrees of banking now. It was 35 degrees, but 18 degrees of banking at this tight little track is a lot. It's not gonna feel like 18 degrees of banking, say at like an intermediate track, mile and a half. This track just clocking in under 6 tenths of a mile. There's not a lot of room. The straightaways are not very wide at all. It's gonna be quite of a challenge. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the point standings coming into today. Jonathan Jennings has been on an absolute roll for opening 3 races this season. And Jonathan Jennings is our point leader, 22 points over Max Service, 24 over Stutzman. Adrian Schumacher, of his win at Canadian Tire, is 25 back. Andrew Pratt, 28 back, and he's tied with Tyler Markle. How about Scott Bailey, 31 back there in P7. Joseph Chiazzi is 40 points back after a lot of trouble the opening 3 rounds. I expect Kazi to be climbing up the points ladder quickly. Kevin Thompson, 41 points back at a point leader, and Doug Solms in the top 10, 48 points back off of Jonathan Jennings. Devin?
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Seth Fitzpatrick there in the 11th position, 50 points back. Randall Barnett right behind him, 51 points back, and James Gilliard sitting there in the 13th position, 53 points back. Seth Berger made a very big climb back up the standings with his performance last week. He jumps up to 14th, 60 points behind our leader. Reeves there in the 22 car, he's sitting at 15th, tied with Seth Berger. Brad Bothwell, one of our qualifying experts here, not really had the season that he's wanted so far. Still probably trying to figure things out with this next generation car. He's sitting in 16th, 62 points off the pace. Garrett Velzy sitting there in 17th, 68 points back. Andrew St. Coeur, a returner to the series after a year of a couple races here or there, returns for full-time work, it looks like. He is sitting there 72 points back. Matthew Setzer, 73 points back at 19th. And our league owner there, Adam Gardner, sitting 74 points back in 20th.
How about it? Adam Gardner making a nice little start to the season. It's only been 3 races, and we still have a lot of ground to cover. We had, of course, it's been a week, so I guess it's not too bad of a time to kind of recap what's gone on so far. Let's go ahead and bring up our schedule graphic to go along with that. So we started with the season opener at Daytona, but before that, we still had a couple weeks before that of preseason festivities. We had the Clash at Daytona, 40 laps. It was a wild round non-points race. No real repercussions. So those drivers are kind of just able to learn how to race with one another at Daytona, kind of push the limits. There was a lot of big crashes there. And we had the duels. They were very calm duels for the most part. Qualifying races that set the order for the season opener at Daytona. Boy, that was something else. That season opener had 15 cautions that were clocked in at 45 laps. We had 4 overtime attempts, and we had Joshua Land Fox come in and steal the show, a part-time driver who won it at Canada. And then Devin, we traveled north of the border.
Yeah, traveled up to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park there in Canada, and it was a great race. We saw what looked like to be a very good battle developing between Joseph Causey and Adrian Schumacher. Unfortunately, Joseph Causey runs into trouble, just kind of losing it by himself, and Schumacher runs away with a pretty easily handed victory there. Then we head to Auto Club, where last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, we saw a fantastic duel between all of these drivers from the beginning to the end of the race. Just a lot of overtaking, a lot of strategy being called there, and ultimately it is Jennings who comes away with the victory at Auto Club. Tonight we're here at Nashville, so maybe we get another winner. We've had 3 completely different winners. Maybe we get another one tonight, our 4th different winner in a row. And then next week we head to Atlanta. That's going to be a very, very fun development at Atlanta there. And then, of course, we head to Indianapolis, the big 4-corner oval, 2-mile oval there at Indianapolis with the 4 turns that are all pretty much completely different. Then we head to Chicagoland, a circuit that's not on the schedule anymore, but a very, very fun circuit to drive. Then we go back short track racing in Iowa at the 7/8 of a mile oval there in the cornfields of Iowa. Then we head to Texas for our 2nd super speedway race of the season. Then Bristol Dirt there is going to be the first dirt race that we see with this car. I don't think that we've seen a dirt race on this car yet, so we'll get to see one there in the 10th race of the season. Rockingham, the bumpy track at the Rock in North Carolina. We're going to head there at the 11th race of the season, and then we finally get to our 2nd road course of the season in Watkins Glen.
And now this, I like to call it the meat and potatoes. This middle portion of the schedule, this is what sets you up. This is the championship making portion. You got to obviously make the playoffs. You got to stay in the playoffs, playoff seeding through this portion of the schedule. This part of the schedule means everything. You start off with Martinsville, the paperclip, the 0.526 mile short track in Martinsville, Virginia. Then you have IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park, the 0.67 mile short track in Brownville, Indiana. Then you have Texas, the 1.5 mile up in Fort Worth. iRacing Super Speedway, the fictional big 3-mile high bank super speedway. Then the Magic Mile up in New Hampshire. Then you have, of course, the 2-mile D-shaped oval, Michigan, back to a 1/2-mile flat dirt track at Eldora, back to high speed restrictor plate. Well, I guess they're not restrictor plates anymore. Pack racing action at Daytona Super Speedway. Then we'll go all the way on the other side of the country over to Monterey, California for Laguna Seca. That should be a blast. We haven't seen stock cars at Laguna Seca in a while. I think most recently the ARCA series has visited them in real life. Visited WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca. Then the tricky triangle of Pocono to the crazy 1-mile short track, if you call it, Phoenix. That has a dog leg on the backstretch. You can fan out into a very tight 1-2 corner, 2 racing line kind of corner, and then of course the 1.5 mile at Charlotte before the final 2 races of the regular season and the playoffs.
That's right. We head to Bristol, short track racing in Bristol, and then the 1.3 mile oval in Nashville Super Speedway. So back in Tennessee to close out the regular season. Then we get into the playoffs. The first round, very tough racing. Daytona Road Course, followed by Milwaukee, a very flat 1-mile track. Then we head to Charlotte Roval, another road course based off of a real life, or based on a real life oval that these cars normally race on, and we're going to convert it into the Roval portion. Then we head to USA International, our short track race of first short track race of the playoffs. Then from the short track, we go back to the super speedway in Talladega. Then we head to the track Too Tough to Tame in Darlington. That's going to close out round 2. Then we head to Homestead, Miami. That track, I've raced it personally. It is very fun in this car. Then we head to Atlanta, and possibly by that time we'll have a completely different configuration of Atlanta than we have right now with the brand new surfacing that has taken effect. Then we head to North Wilkesboro, our second short track of the playoffs, and that's going to close out round 3 and set up the championship 4 race in Richmond, Virginia.
Absolutely. We look at that championship 4, and it's still a long ways away, of course. But you think of, I would look back to the point standings, but he's not even on that graphic. The defending Outlaws Sim Series champion, Greg Holt, wasn't even in the top 20. He was well outside the top 20 a few days before the race 2 weeks ago at Auto Club. He since gained 7 spots in the points. He's up to 21st in the points. He's 1 point behind Adam Gardner. So he can definitely make his way into the playoffs. As we saw Seth Berger jump 20 spots in one go last week with his performance at 2 weeks ago with his performance at the Auto Club Speedway. Anything can happen. It's still early in the season. The points are still very close, but I just find that intriguing. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how we didn't have the 2 drivers who finished in a photo finish for the championship, first and second, not in the top 30 in points. And now we have Seth Berger in 14th. We still have Greg Holt still outside the top 20. So a lot of work to go for both of those drivers to be in positions that they feel they should be in. Meanwhile, Joseph Kiazi also has some work to do from the 8th position. All of our championship 4 drivers kind of just slouching about beginning of the season, except Stutzman, who's still there in 3rd from last season.
Yeah, definitely some work to do for these drivers, especially Greg Holt. Not the start of the season he's won. He's been involved in a couple of incidents that have kind of taken him out from the get-go, from early in the race. It's not really, things that are happening, when he's battling for the win or anything. These are wrecks that are happening towards the beginning of the race, collecting Greg Holt, and he is not been able to recover. And when he does recover, like we did at Auto Club, something else happens, and he gets involved in another incident. So just the cards are not falling his way at the moment, but I fully expect a driver with the talent of Greg Holt to make a big bounce back, and that could start here tonight in Nashville.
And part of the reason I brought that up is because this is the site, if I recall correctly, of Greg Holt's first Outlaws Sim Series start. He qualified on the pole for this race. My goodness, there's a lot of wrecked race cars in the back straightaway. He qualified on the pole for this race in his first Outlaws Sim Series start back in Season 1. We were racing via Xfinity Series style vehicles. And off of Turn 4, he didn't even complete the first lap. He didn't get to lead a single lap that race, because off of Turn 4, he spun it out in front of the field, nosed it into the inside wall. It was truly embarrassing. I thought that was going to be the driver we just got into the Outlaw Sim Series. In my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy is just a hot lapper. And since then, absolutely proved myself and everyone else wrong. He took like 7 wins just that season alone. The winningest driver in the Outlaw Sim Series, the defending series champion. So much has changed, but that, again, you shouldn't judge a driver off their, off of one start. But in my mind, I just saw this guy got pulled and then loop it around before he even got to lead 1 lap. Just an interesting little tidbit. That race 2 seasons ago was the first race we saw Greg Holt in the Outlaw Sim Series.
And that's a really cool tidbit that we're returning to the track where he needs to make the luck turn around, where unfortunately luck went away from him before he even completed 1 lap. So, that's a really interesting storyline as we head in and we see again the points leader, John Jennings, back on top of the practice board here. Reeves in a close second. These times aren't too far apart within the top 10, only separated by 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, these times very close. I'm expecting a highly competitive race. Nice to see. Andrew St. Cour has been very consistent, this new next generation Cup vehicle. Good to see Andrew St. Cour up there. Derek McMurtry in search of a good run. He's up there 8th on the practice charts. this could be the little boost that some of these drivers needed. Jacob Reeves has needed a good run. Yeah, just a lot of good names up here. We've been expecting a lot out of Zoltan Hertzeg, the Nork driver who contended for the most recent Nork Championship, finished second in the points back in season 13 of Nork, and he's here in the Outlaws Sim Series. He's only slapped it up 11th quickest, but if anything, I don't know Zoltan as a fast hot lap driver. I know him as the driver who's going to preserve his stuff and save his tires, and all of a sudden he ends up wrecked last week in his, I believe that was his first points paying Outlaw Sim Series start. So expecting a lot out of Zoltan Hertzeg. Still have yet to see it here on the Outlaws side. Devin, who do you have your eye on? Who would you want to, I guess, talk to as we're having the final 10 minutes practice wind down here?
That was somebody who we've seen, on the track and who's been showing some speed, but just hasn't put the finishes together. If they're available to talk, would be McMurtry there. He's sitting in the 8th position right now, about 2/10 off of Jennings in that 84 car. We haven't really talked to him at all this season, but yet he's put in some very good times and some very good speed, just not had the results so far fall his way. It'd be good to pick his brain with how his thoughts on the beginning of the season have gone for him, and kind of how he plans to turn things around as we get further along. Maybe starting tonight for him, as we see him in the top 10 right now. So we'll see if we can get. We'll see if we can get him up. Devin McMurtry. This is Devin in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I think this is the first time we've had you up in the booth this season, so we want to welcome you to the Outlaw Sim Series broadcast booth and kind of get your feeling on how the first 3 races of the season have gone for you, and what you plan on doing for the tonight as well as the rest of the season.
Well, first 3's been rough, for sure, but it's been a lot of fun. I think we got a pretty good car tonight. We'll see if we can keep it clean and see what happens. These boys are fast in here.
Yeah, that they are. And I mean, you've shown a lot of speed yourself so far this season. It just has not panned out your way in the first 3 races. Just unfortunate events have gotten you involved in some extracurricular wrecks. And we, hopefully tonight, with the short track, our first short track of the season, you're showing a lot of speed, sitting there 8th right now in the practice session. Do you think this is a track that you can kind of turn your season around on and get it headed in the right direction going forward?
I believe so. We're sure going to go out here and try.
And as far as, this season, it's a long 36 race season.
Oh, yeah.
Full length schedule. Does that have any any play into how you're driving these races and how you're trying to gather points, like in the stages and stuff like that?
Definitely. Want to try to grind them out. So even if something does happen, you stay until your car can't go no more.
Yeah, that's right. We've seen guys get knocked out by a single point, so every single point will matter, and it's crazy how it always seems to work out that way, but it does. And I mean, we like we said, we've seen it before. It happens all the time. But as we go further along in the season, we're starting to get into, we're still kind of the filling out phase. A lot of new guys have joined in the Outlaw Sim Series. I believe you are one of them. How are you feeling with the competition so far, and how you are feeling with how you are stacking up with that competition?
It's definitely fierce. Y'all got some really fast guys in here, and anybody who says that you can look an iRating and say this driver's this driver's that, them iRating numbers mean absolutely zero. These guys in here, it don't matter if they're 1,500 or 6,000. They can beat you any week. I mean, it's just fierce competition, and I love it, man. These guys, you can race 3 wide, side by side, and have clean races. I mean, I just love it, man. These guys are great.
That's so awesome to hear, and I know your competitors will like to hear that compliment as well. Man, I got to say, we're rooting for you tonight. We're hopefully talking to you
Appreciate
at the end
it.
here. Yeah, hopefully we're talking to you at the end, and you know, we can get you on the podium, maybe a win here. I'll get that season turned around for you and headed in the right direction. You know, as we start getting into the meat of the season. So good luck tonight, and
Thanks,
go
man.
get them.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good time and keep doing great up there.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Again, that is driver of the number 84, Derek McMurtry. And that was a great interview. So good to hear from him. I was kind of looking around, trying to see who is out there, who's available. We want to kind of pick their brains about a little bit. And I can't come into one name. I haven't talked to this guy since last season. And this is a really good guy. We're going to get to talk to you right here. I want to bring up driver of the number 69, John Mickey. John, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all?
We're doing fantastic. Well, we're here, the Nashville Fairgrounds. Tough little track. Not really boring, but it's gonna feel like it out there once you're in the thick of it. Not a lot of room for error. How you feeling tonight?
The car's pretty good. It's just really trying to keep it underneath of you for the whole time. Other than that, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun racing.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Cannot wait. Now, I guess we missed you at Canadian Tire, so you're going to be a little deeper into points than you'd want. But we're still in the early portion of the season. I guess with Daytona and Auto Club, how would you evaluate yourself so far to this point of the season?
It's kind of sucked. I got to finish races, and hopefully I can start doing that tonight. Can't go nowhere in the points if you can't finish.
Fair enough. We can look, forward to tonight and coming up at Atlanta and a couple other tracks coming up on the schedule. Being this is another 36 race schedule, kind of what we ran in the first season of Outlaws. Does that give you kind of, I guess, hope or motivation that you have a lot of time to fix something, or because of the length, is it kind of dreadful that you have to kind of lug out another 36 races, or what's your thought when you only on race 4 of a 36 race season?
I think it's going to get a lot better as the season goes on. We're going to figure these cars out, and I know I will eventually. It just takes time. And so far, the racing's actually been fun for what I've been able to do. So I just can't wait for the rest of it. It's not grueling to me. It's fun.
But you love to hear it. That's what we hear a lot about these next-gen cars. And, of course, iRace is going to continue to update the cars, and we're going to continue to learn. And we're just going to take these cars to some amazing tracks this season. Cannot wait to see what is in store for us this season. So yeah, tonight, I know you're a smart guy. You're an intricate racer. And so I was thinking these next-gen cars are going to be kind of more right up your alley. What can you tell us, I guess, about tonight? Are these cars going to be really difficult on corner exit? Is it easy to get into the corners, or difficult? What's it like out there?
Well, from what I've seen and what I've felt, if it starts to get nasty on you, it's really hard to catch it. So you got to keep it underneath of you. If the rear starts to go, they're really, really hard to catch for anybody, any level. So that's what we have to do. We have to keep them underneath of us and clean.
Fair enough. Well, looking to tonight, I know you say obviously you want to finish, but let's say you do, finish. What's a goal for you tonight? What would you leave content tonight, finishing wise, being content with?
I like to get in the top 10, top 15. I think that'd be a decent night, especially if I can finish.
Fair enough. Well, John, final minutes practice are winding down. We're going to leave you to it. Best of luck to you, driver. Before we let you go, we'll give you a chance to shout out. Who we got a shout out? Thank you. We're going to thank
everybody that lets me do this, and Outlaws and you guys that put it out there for us to watch later. Other than that, I'm ready to get it.
Absolutely. Driver of the number 69, John Mickey. Have a great race, driver.
Thank you.
And again, that two guys that are up there in the practice charts. McMurtry down to 10th, Mickey still in 12th. They're gonna have a hard time if that's where they end up qualifying. Ooh, they're gonna just be at the front end of a little hornet's nest that we're gonna see coming into tonight's race, Devin.
Yeah, it looks like that's right where the trouble spots always seem to be, right around that middle of the pack area. You're really going to have to take care getting into the first turn and possibly the third turn as well. A little bit of a feeling out period might need to be had. But, I mean, if there's any, like I've said it before in the opening, if there's any group of drivers that can figure this track out, it is this group right here. You heard it from McMurchie. He said these guys can run 3 wide. It doesn't matter what I rating they are. They're all clean. They're all respectful. And they run you hard, but they run you fair.
That's what you love to hear. That is amazing. So we can't wait to get into things here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. You heard the opener. It's a horse track turned short track, and that's true. This track was opened in 1904 as a horse racing track before automobiles were the mainstay here in the United States. And now we look at the Nashville Fairgrounds as the track that hosted SRX last season and the track that hosts the Super Late Model weekend, the All-American 400 here. Goodness, I think October, November. This track has so much going for it again. The history it has with NASCAR and the kinds of events it has now. Absolutely fantastic. We're able to come to the Nashville Fairgrounds and put on a show with these next-gen cars, even if it is in its virtual form here on iRacing. But, Devin, it is time for us to get down to the track. Qualifying is underway. Let's see who is out there.
Yep, we head into qualifying, and we're going to see the 67 car be the first one on the track.
67 of Doug Solms out there now, and so Matthew Setzer is actually going to set the first time on the charts for us tonight. Doug Solms now puts it top of the charts, already getting some nice little times in. But again, these guys get 3 attempts to set the fastest lap they can. And let's see who else is out there. We're going to ride on board here with the 82 of Adrian Schumacher.
Yeah, Schumacher. We've considered him the road course expert along with Joseph Causey.
You hear that right there?
Downshifting.
Yeah.
I love to see that in this car. Yep, I love to see that in this car. We ran Phoenix last night, Emerson and I did. Oh, he loses it.
Oh, no! Schumacher goes around. The good news is he gets 3 laps at it. And he's not going to reset, so that's going to do it for Adrian. I think he's out of laps.
I think that was
Wow.
it. But I was going to say, Adrian's kind of been surprising us this season with how he has ran very, very well on the, the ovals. He's not really, doesn't consider himself the best oval driver. Yeah, he's up there competing every single week, it seems like, on these ovals, and he's only getting better. So I fully expect to see Schumacher, his name kind of creeping up towards the front of that standings table here very, very quickly and very shortly. And he'd probably be able to maintain it up there too.
Now, this one's going to be tough because, again, I'm expecting a lot of chaos tonight. Jonathan Jennings, who else would it be to go top of the charts by nearly 0.2 of a second? My goodness. And he still's got another couple laps at him here. But we're riding aboard with Jonathan Jennings. You can just hear it. You can see it. Oh, he's going to go around. I was just about to comment on he went around because just there's so many bumps there through the corners at this racetrack. You saw the car bouncing up and down. And unfortunately, that is going to be a result of all those bumps. And that'll do in his qualifying attempt tonight. But he is on the provisional pole with a 18.447. Now Seth Berger taking to the track.
Yeah, Seth Berger on the track now, former champion of this league. And, yeah, you just see those bumps. You see how rough that front of the car is bouncing. And you might think, oh, it's a sim. You really don't feel that like you would if you were really in the car. And that you'd be completely wrong. You feel every single bump in the steering wheel that you have.
Second quickest.
As Seth goes second quickest. But, yeah, you feel every single one of those bumps in the steering wheels that we use here for the simulator. And it jars your arms quite profusely.
And that lap will not be better for Seth. I think this is his final attempt. He's going to go at it one more time. See if Seth can outdo is overlapped by about a 1/10 to the line. Seth Berger will go a 491, so it gets it closer.
Oh, wow.
But wow, he's still 4/100s, nearly 5/100s off. It's going to be hard.
Something else I noticed there from Seth Berger, he's starting to diamond this turn. With the, he allows it. That's going to be an interesting talking point right there. Getting onto pit road. I forgot to mention it in the opener, but we saw it. This pit road is a cutout. It's not really one that you can easily drive into. It's a cutout, and it's a really hard left turn to get in there. So watch that as the race progresses. We might not see, we might be seeing a lot more of that tonight.
League owner Adam Gardner takes to the bumps here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Jacob Reeves, top of the charts in his number 22. How about it?
The baby blue and baby pink car goes to the top of the charts. The first time we've seen him on a short track. And, man, one of the sentimental favorites of this season, Jacob Reeves, to the point right now. Wow. What a lap from the 22 car.
Phenomenal lap there from Jacob Reeves. Let's find our way up to Max Service. He just put it 5th quickest, and there he is in his Hellman's, Burgart's, Taylor Swift, Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Max Service came 2nd in the one attempt we had here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, 2nd to teammate Seth Berger. He had fresher tires, but just didn't want to rough up his teammate too much. Max Service goes ahead and outdoes Andrew St. Cour. A little bit of a rivalry in-house there. 81-12. Going to be starting 4th and 5th right there. Provisionally. Max on that lap. Does that improve? He goes 2nd quickest by 4/1000ths of a second.
Jeez, these lap times are so close between these drivers. Man, what a lap from Max Service. Almost squeaking out a pole, but there's still plenty of drivers left to qualify. Brad Bothwell being one of them, and this 48 car right here. Man, this could be an interesting lap from, I believe this Garrick Velzy. We're riding on board with him now. This could be an interesting lap. We're seeing this diamond effect take more prominence, where these guys trying to pick up as much speed as they can off this turn. You see him, he enters low, goes high, cuts it back down low, trying to get as much speed as he can down these straightaways.
Garrett Velzy, he's a driver who's shown a lot of promise at the beginning of the season. He's had some good little runs so far in this season. Velzy trying to improve upon that. He'll stay 21st that lap, but this is his final lap, and he'll go ahead and he'll pull it off the track there.
Yeah, I think he just didn't feel right there when he took the line, decided to call it quits as we're riding on now. I believe this is Seth Fitzpatrick. Yep, the number 2 car. Remember that Hooters scheme. So Fitzpatrick we're on board with now. He's already set one time up to 8th. This will be his 3rd and final lap as we're on board right now. He comes off the turn 4. Let's see where he puts it.
That lap will put him, he will not improve, so he will stay 8th quickest for the time being. Looks like that is going to be it so far. Nobody else taking to the track. There's still plenty of time to get out there to the lap. We're still waiting on John Mickey, Brad Bothwell, James Gilliard, Andrew Schroeder, Zoltan Herczeg, Robert Gianni, Adrian Schumacher, and Nathan Aldridge. Robert Gianni, that name caught me up a little bit. That's a new name to the series. He's in the 14, though. I thought that was Nathan Aldridge's number. Intriguing there.
Yeah, and just to tap on to Derek McMurtry, we interviewed him at the top, hoping that this would be a race that he could try and turn it around. So far, he has qualified in 18th position. You see it on the left-hand side of the screen. Sitting there in 18th position, probably just not able to put a lap together that he really liked. So he's going to have some work to do tonight if he wants to get a good finish.
Well, Devin, looks like at the moment nobody else is taking to the track. So if under a minute left, that means that the 22 of Jacob Reeves is at the top of the charts.
That's right, and we will award this week's Pratt Towel and Stone Pole Award to the number 22 of Jacob Reeves. Congratulations, the sentimental favorite of the season. Jacob Reeves, you are this week's in Nashville Fairgrounds Pratt Towel and Stone Pole Award. Congratulations, and man, we wish you the best of luck in the race. I know these drivers watch it back after, so I'll give him a little shout out there. But yeah, what a lap he put in, Emerson. That was just a monster lap, and then just how close the guys behind him were.
Honestly, I mean, by 4/1000ths of a second over max service, he dethroned Jonathan Jennings, who we thought was going to be the almighty. He's gotten 2 poles this season and was on par for another. But it's not meant to be for Jonathan Jennings tonight as far as the pole position goes. Yeah, Pratt Tile and Stone serving Central Vermont since 2005. Devin, it's time for us to get down to the track and go through our starting lineup. So here we go. Row number 1, it'll be, of course, our Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award winner, the 22 of Jacob Reeves. The 81 of Max Service will be to his outside. Row number 2 will be the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, the 77 of Seth Berger. Row 3, the 12 of Andrew St. Cure, the 75 of Andrew Pratt. Row 4, it'll be the 42 of Tyler Markle, the 2 of Seth Fitzpatrick. And row number 5, the 88 of Joseph Causey, the 3 of Greg Holt. Devin?
And there we go. Sorry about that. We have the number 71 there on the I cannot see. I'm sorry about this. I'm having troubles with my screen. But yeah, Jeremiah Stutzman there in the 11th position. To his outside, Devin Smith in the 95. In the next row number 7, we're going to have Kevin Thompson in the 21. To his outside, Matthew Setzer in the number 5 car. In the row number 8, Eric Peck will be on the inside in the 16. Scott Bailey in the 11 to his outside. Row number 9 sees Matt Rogers in the 96 and Derek McMurtry in the 84. Starting on 19th position in row 10, if Aaron Elam Jr. brings it in the 98 car, and Jason Miz to his outside in 20th. Emerson.
Row number 11, it'll be the 48 of Garrett Velzy, the 56 of Adam Gardner. Back in 12th, it'll be the 67 of Doug Solms, the 63 of Randall Barnett. Row 13 brings the 39 of Zoltan Herkzeg, the 14 of Robert Gianni. Row 14, it'll be the 31 Lane Green Fast Machine that didn't qualify this time. That's a shocker. We usually see Buffalo at least take an attempt at pole position with all his poles last season. It'll be 27th for Brad Buffalo, the 32 of Nathan Aldridge to his outside. Row number 15, it'll be the 69 of John Mickey, the 33 of James Gilliard. In the final row of tonight's race, the 47 of Andrew Schroeder, the 82 of Adrian Schumacher for tonight's 32-car field. Here we go. They are off and rolling on their formation lap, Devin.
Yeah, we're not going to get two laps here. We're going to go green right away. These guys going to catch up real quick, get kind of set up here, and get ready to go green, Emerson.
Well, actually, we're not going to get 2 base laps. That's intriguing. Actually, yeah, we are. We will get a second base lap.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I was worried. The lights were off on the pace car there. I was kind of getting worried, but
right.
Yeah, just to look at this restart here. This first turn is going to be monster, and with the weather there, it doesn't really seem like it's going to factor in at all. 67-degree track temp, very cool tonight in Nashville, virtual Nashville, Tennessee. Winds about 3 miles an hour. That's about standard. A little bit of a light breeze going through the track should not upset these cars too much. What I look at is that run off of turn 2 could really catch some guys out.
Well, here we go. It is time for the iRacing.com safety vehicle to find its safety in the pit lane. The 22 of Jacob Reeves is going to lead us to the green from the Music City. Clean first lap, but we continue on. It's Jacob Reeves going really high, trying to maybe dive in the corner. Max Service trying to dive it to his inside. Service sideways off the corner. Here comes Jennings.
Yeah, Service maybe trying to pick up the throttle a little early, try and get to the inside of Reeves there is not able to do it, but he's able to maintain position for now in second place. Looks like that high line might be something to factor in here as we go low or get longer in this race. As Seth Berger looks to the inside for third over John Jennings.
Jonathan Jennings under sack from our season 1 champion Seth Berger. Berger trying to see what he can do to put that 77 up into the podium. Max Service with the fastest lap time around.
Yeah, that 81 car looks dialed in from the early onset here. Really getting through these turns very well on the inside.
Caution is on the speedway. Kevin Thompson around on the back straightaway. That car is pile up.
Oh, pile up.
Parking lot on the back straightaway. Oh my goodness.
We mentioned in the opener.
Oh, the leader's gonna have to stop. This is not good. The leader's got to stop. Oh no.
Oh, they're still hitting.
Oh no. What is going on here?
Just not enough room.
This is not good. All right, looks like we're gonna go ahead and get it cycled out there. My goodness. Well, go ahead and we'll try to find a replay of that. That was something else. Let's see what we can pull up. This might take a moment to get it pulled up just because of the.
Well, yeah, both of us talked about in the opener that this back stretch, this front stretch, very narrow. If one car goes around, it could collect a lot of those. There was a guy up top there, and that kind of stacked everybody up, and then it just
no,
big pile up. A lot of cars.
No. That's massive pile up.
The 39. Man,
we
see
got
a lot of cars.
Hertzeg, Barnett, Gardner, Rogers.
The 11 car.
The 11 Scott Bailey. Oh my goodness. Let's even get another view of this. That was Matthew Setzer, the initial car that went around. Let's see, it was also the 21 of Kevin Thompson that went around on the back straightaway here. He just got sideways. I guess he had a little bit of contact there.
I'll say there was a green car on the outside that was already around on the outside. Well, Matthew Setzer.
Setzer was stopping high.
Yeah, and so he was keeping it out of everybody's way, but it looks like that's what kind of triggered this whole situation. Guys just kind of having to dive it down a little sooner. A couple guys we saw, especially up front, running that high lane. That high lane unavailable for these guys in the back of the field. As
it was Thompson that sent Setzer, and Thompson got sideways, and here we go. Yep, we're gonna see it all here. There he goes. Man. Goodness gracious, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars at least. And more have to come slowing down. Looks like everybody else is able to make it through. Wow. Nearly a 10-car pile up on the back straightaway here at the Nashville Fairgrounds early on in this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been the narrow nature of these two front and back stretches. Just not enough room to get around, and if one car goes and you're not able to slow down in time, you're going to be in it. But for Jacob Reeves, though, this gets him some good laps led as we see these cars have finally caught the pace car, lost it for a second. But we're going to get a restack.
Yep, here's the choose. Everybody making their choices. See the driver
like
could choose
the
left and the right. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of guys taking the high line here. That's quite surprising. With the banking that's at this track, I mean, it is 18 degrees. It's not too terrible, banking. As say like somewhere like Bristol or something, but you fully expect to see maybe that diamond effect on the inside lane be prominent, but maybe not. Maybe that high line
They're gonna add a pace lap here. So we are not ready to go green. Fair enough. To be fair, we got really jumbled up there on the back straightaway with the initial caution lap coming out for the wreck back there. Everybody had to stop, and I think the order might have gotten a little jumbled up, so everybody's going to make sure of that. The 47 of Andrew Schroeder also looking for his place in line. But you're right, Devin, the banking up on the top side, that, it's only 18 degrees, but because of the length of the track, I kind of alluded to earlier, but I didn't really say it like this. It gets magnified. It almost feels like 30 degrees of banking because of the length of the racetrack. Well, here we go. The Artisan pace car is going to head into pit lane this time, so we will get to racing. It's Jacob Reeves and Max Service, the front row. We are green once again from Nashville. Jacob Reeves has opened up a large gap, over half a second back to second place. Jennings in service. Service got a bad start on that inside lane. So it looks like Reeves had his line picked perfectly. We're kind of talking about that banking on the high side, Devin.
Yeah, and Reeves, now you see him, he's really taking advantage of that diamonding effect. He dives it in, not as low, not all the way down to the yellow line, but he's still doing somewhat of a diamond to try and get the best exit and best entrance into the turn, keep the momentum in the car up. As we see now Greg Holt battling back here. This will be for the 7th, 8th, 9th positions with Andrew St. Cour and his teammate Joseph Causey. Also Tyler Markle in there in 10th as we see maybe some contact.
Oh, and Jennings is now diving it off to the inside and clear to the race lead. Try to see if we can get that. We'll see if Reeves does get attacked here by Max, and we'll try to go back and get that replay for you. Looks like Reeves will slot in line for the time being. Let's try to go back and find that replay of Jacob Reeves getting overtaken for the race lead. And this is set up for a while, so we'll get to see it here. We'll watch it from up above. And you see Jacob Reeves there in that second lane. Jennings, he loves to roll that bottom.
Yeah, he's definitely been rolling. He runs a little bit higher here in 3 and 4, but what a massive run he gets off of turn number 4.
And that was enough. You know, just that run off the corner. He can roll the bottom better than Reeves can roll the top. And Jennings was just able to close, and then they went side by side. And by the time we cut to the battle, this was it. They were side by side in the corner, and Jennings just cleared him off the corner as Reeves went way high.
Yeah, it looks like he gave plenty of space there, maybe trying to dive it in a little deep as well and overshot the entry into the turn. That hands Jennings the lead. And last week's winner off to a great start so far as we see Derek McMurtry slow on the backstretch.
Oh, he does get it down the pit road safely. That is unfortunate. And he is also traveling through the pit stalls. That is a no-no. Oh, no.
Yeah, a rough night for Derek McMurtry. A rough start of the season continues, unfortunately. Looks like he was involved in something there on the backstretch as we were in the replay there.
Oh, and around goes somebody up in turn 2. That's the Devin 95 and Devin Smith.
That could be exactly what happened to McMurtry. He goes around and it looks like he keeps it rolling.
That's a car, too.
Oh, man, that is a nice paint scheme.
The NASCAR racing paint scheme. They're throwing back to the old NASCAR racing computer games. That's unfortunate there. I don't see that torn up. But around goes Garrett Felsey. What a catch. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
We might be saying that a lot, Devin.
I think so. I think it's this turn 2. Kind of like something like the Magic Mile up there in New Hampshire. This turn 2 is kind of becoming very treacherous to handle here. Is man, Jennings has really opened up a lead now, about a second and a half over Reeves as he's under fire from Max Service from behind. This is only going to allow that lead to grow as these two are battling. And there's contact! Contact between Max Service and Reeves as Max is on the inside, Reeves on the outside. They continue the battle into 1 and 2. Reeves not ready to give up that second position, but Max wants to get it away. Is he clear? Not yet. And now Seth Berger, his teammate's going to follow him through, trying to get to third.
Max Service is clear of Reeves now. Seth, oh, contact! That's such a tough spot to have contact, but that is going to be Seth. That's a bump and run. I don't know if Seth intended to do that.
Yeah, it looks like both of them tried to send it into the turn to kind of outbreak each other. And unfortunately, it kind of goes awry. Both of them end up sliding up into each other. And luckily for Reeves, he's able to hold on to it, not too worse for wear. But it does look like that high line maybe starting to take its toll, leaving the inside lane open. And these guys who are rolling the bottom, we've seen Jennings do it. Now Max and Seth both rolling the bottom. Another guy who's rolling the bottom, Greg Holt.
Yep.
Greg Holt's been rolling the bottom the whole race, and he's up from his starting position back in 10th. Now up into the 5th position and looking for more.
Seth Berger has gotten by his teammate Max Service, but at what cost? He almost went around. This is going to allow Greg Holt to get up there, and Devin Swift had another mishap off of turn 2. He'll continue on, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, that car's starting to look really rough now. What a great scheme it was, and now he's just limping around the track. That could pose a problem for the leaders, as these are some great battles going on here for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Even 6th and 7th right behind. You can see in the rearview mirror there, Greg Holt battles all over this top 10 right now. And with the lap car coming in, it could be perilous for these guys trying to overtake. But it does look like Reeves has started to gain his composure again. Has backed up at speed as we're focused in on the battle now between Joseph Causey and Seth Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that was a good eye there, Devin, and that was the virtual mirror, or not the virtual, I'm sorry, the rear view camera that is now in these NASCAR Next Generation Cup vehicles that we were able to see that battle so clearly. You wouldn't really have been able to see that if this was, say, the Gen 6 car and they were side by side behind Greg. Because that camera is up on the roof, you can kind of see it if you look very closely right behind the roof number of these cars. You'll get to see the little camera. We'll go on board with Kazi with this camera as well. This is what the drivers see in their mirror. This is amazing compared to the mirrors they had last season inside the cockpit.
Yeah, so much more clarity. You can actually see exactly who's behind you. More so, you know exactly what they're doing instead of just I know in the old, just rear mounted or that front mounted rear view mirror, it was kind of, you made out a blotch of paint scheme, and it was kind of hard to tell what they were doing and who they're battling with. But it's very easy and very clear to tell that now. This is a technology that NASCAR brought in from the GT3 series over at IMSA from last year. So they're trying to get into the future just a little bit, and modern technology in these NASCARs.
Look at this gap that Jonathan Jennings has. Oh my goodness. One thing I'd like to mention is some people may not know, some people do, but you say that NASCAR bringing this technology from IMSA and the GT3 series. Well, the France family, which owns NASCAR, also has their stake at IMSA. The France family owns IMSA as well. When they took over the American Le Mans series back in 2013, went to the Francis. So very, very similarities. And I hear a little bit of a rumor, but there's going to be a press conference tomorrow with NASCAR and IMSA execs. So a lot could be coming for the future of NASCAR if we're looking at the IMSA series. Just to throw that out there. And Andrew St. Cyr has come to a complete stop on the racetrack. Oh no.
And here come the leaders right here. Unfortunate for Andrew St. Cyr. I mean, he had a good starting position and has shown a lot of speed. He's kind of been one of those guys who's had the speed, just not the luck so far this season. And what a beautiful paint scheme that the Advanced Auto Parts car is based off of a Ryan Blaney scheme that he's going to run later this year. And unfortunate to see that 12 machine around as he's finally getting back up to speed right in front of second place Seth Berger.
Let's try to see if we can find out what happened. This might take a moment. Oh, here we go. We found out how this happened. We're going to catch up with Andrew coming off of turn 2, and that was a late spin. My goodness.
I think that was a shift.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That could, I could agree with that, because the difference in RPMs, the drop in RPMs, that could cause something like that. Absolutely.
I think that he may have downshifted instead of upshifting there. When you drop it into 4th, if you drop it into 3rd, trying to pick up the speed, it's just going to loop around, and just that amount of torque from those rear tires looks exactly like something that would happen if you're downshifting when you should upshift.
Well, the other driver in that house, Max Service, is under heavy fire for the 3rd position from the 3 car of Greg Holt. And look at this battle continue on. Greg trying to really roll that bottom to the inside of Max. Jacob Reeves is falling back to the 5th position there and sits there. But Max is under heavy fire from the 3.
Yeah, and Greg Holt again slowly making his way to the front. We've seen the speed out of that car all season, just not had the luck to go with it so far. but definitely showing the speed this time, and we're riding on board, looking back at Reeves from the back of the 3-car here.
There we go. That's all right.
Yep, there we go. That's Max Service's rear bumper. Looking back at Greg Holt.
Oh my goodness! Oh!
And he got the apron there, not able to hold it. That's going to put him under fire from Reeves.
Wow. Wow. Greg was ambitious. Maybe he saw the lappers coming up, and he knew that he really had to maybe get by Mac before he got into dense lap traffic. And now he's back. He's going to have to go at it again.
Yeah, Max not making it easy on him by any means. Really making Greg have to work for this one. Greg Holt a little bit faster right now, but especially at short tracks. Track position is king, and this time it looks like Greg Holt's going to be able to get to the bottom. He gets around the 81 car, but the 81 has the run. He's not going to look to the inside. Instead, he's going to fall under pressure from Joseph Causey. And we see Joseph Causey has made it by the 81 of Max Service. That time off before he got the run. Max loses 2 positions there in a lap, both of them, to a rival team, Performance Sim Sports.
You know, it's crazy. What's about to happen here if Greg gets to Seth and Causey follows is Tuesday. Seth and Causey, they're teammates in another league. Wednesday, they're competing against each other, almost enemies. They're each other's highest competition. I just find that ironic.
It's definitely an interesting concept, but yeah, we say these guys are rivals, and they might have quarrels on the track at times. But
there
the
goes
thing
Greg
is,
up to second.
Yep, Greg up to second now. But
oh no! Oh my goodness! Hard impact there for the 16 of Eric Peck.
Oh wow, that was right in front of Holt.
That was scary. If you were either Greg or Seth. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's nothing that either one of them could have done there too. That was a weird position to let it go around too. But
so late on the straightaway.
Yeah, wow. He's going to dive it into pit road here. But yeah, I was going to say that the amount of respect between the drivers on the track, yeah, they go hard at each other at times and there are quarrels, but for the most part, overall, these drivers really respect one another, and they can be rivals one day, teammates the next. That's just the nature of these drivers, and just they're good, hard racers.
Well, here we go. We're gonna test that right here. Teammates on Tuesday, rivals on Wednesday. Here we go. Joseph Causey, Seth Berger for the 3rd position.
Yeah, we've seen it. These Performance Sim Sports guys just have that long run speed. We saw it last season in the Truck Series when the Outlaws Sim Series was from the NASCAR trucks, and now we're seeing it here in the NextGen series. The longer these runs go, the better these Performance Sim Sports cars seem to be.
Joseph now peaks. Oh my goodness!
A little bit of a late door close there by Seth Berger. Holds off Causey for another lap, but I don't know if it'll be too much longer. Causey a lot of speed in that 88 Ford Mustang there, Baruzzi Ford Mustang. A lot of speed this time, and Seth blocked.
Wow. Well, I think Seth maybe was getting by the lapper, but still.
Oh, there's the lapper there, but here we go. Here's the run, the 88 to the inside entering turn 1. And wow, you can see those brakes glowing on the 88 machine there, Joseph Causey.
Fantastic stuff. Causey still trying to roll that bottom. Seth had a little bit of a bobble in the center of the corner. That's going to allow Causey to easily clear. And now the Swift Racing guys are going at it once again. Max to the inside. Seth up high. Here to go at it.
And while we've seen all this battling, John Jennings is just scampered away now. 8.5 second lead for the 91 car over Greg Holt. That's coming down just a bit, but Greg Holt is starting to catch him just a bit now that he is clear of Seth Berger. But Man, what a drive so far by Jonathan Jennings.
He's over half a lap ahead of second. I mean, that is phenomenal. That is absolutely crazy. He's lapped up to 11. Jacob Reeves has actually gotten by Max Service. Maybe something to miss with the 81. Maybe a little bit of a miscue off one corner. But Reeves back into the top 5 as Service drops out.
Yeah, Service, I'm not sure if he maybe got loose off a turn. That seems to be happening to a lot of guys tonight. And definitely could have happened to that 81 car, but yeah, we look forward here. There's the lappers and stuff are starting to have to play a different role, have to play a different lane than you're normally running, and that definitely could have factored into decision. Max rolling the bottom here, trying to get around Garrett Velzy. He is going to clear him off of turn 4, trying to keep up with Jacob Reeves right in front of him.
You have to hear how much they feather the throttle, Max does at least, until he gets full throttle on that straightaway. It is so late before he's full throttle.
Yeah, and don't look now, but Andrew Pratt, he's called Max Service. He's looking to get around this 81 machine and put himself up in the 6th place position. A big run off of turn number 2. He dives it to the inside of the 81 car into 3 and 4. They're going to roll the bottom. The 81 fighting back on the outside. Still going to maintain the position. 75 not able to maintain the momentum off of turn number 4.
I want to watch that gear, Devin, and see what Andrew Pratt is doing as he got that run off of Max Service.
Yeah, he has it in 4th gear here. I believe they're only shifting down in turn number 1 and 2.
He's leaving it in 4th. At the point where he feels 4th is faster.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be. He's also battling. He's got a guy to his inside. I believe that is going to be... oh, that's Mickey there. Mickey.
Look at John Mickey.
Iron.
We
And
just
the guy you
talked
talked to, yeah, the guy you talked to at the beginning, Emerson, showing some speed tonight.
Oh no, and around goes the 5 of Matthew Sensor back into traffic, cautions out. Oh, oh boy.
I was going to say, I think they threw that caution just because he spun up in the front of everybody. And if they didn't throw it, they probably would have collected a lot more drivers. So Setzer still trying to find a spot to get himself righted and to get going and rolling in the right direction. But it's just a train of cars coming through at this point, Emerson.
Yeah, he's got to do a little donut here, or put it into the wall, why don't you? Go and grab that replay and see what happened to the 5 of Matthew Setzer. And maybe that was just the instinct call from race control. We'll see what happened. And again, the rule in the Outlaws Sim Series is a 2-car accident brings out a caution, but race control, of course, has the right to throw one, if there's a safety element to it, and right there back in the front of traffic, and yeah, I'd imagine that was probably it. Just for the safety of the other drivers.
So, yeah, the leaders were coming through right there, and I imagine they're calling caution, 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 so they're able to slow down and safely avoid Matthew Setzer and not be involved in that incident as well.
Try to board and see what happened from the 5 of Setzer. He falls behind McMurtry there in the 84. The Setzer, he's already 19 laps down. I mean, what is going on? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to gas it up, keep momentum up on the high line, and just went around on him with the bumps coming off of turn number 2. We've talked about that turn a lot, catching some guys out, and it does so again with Matthew Setzer.
Pit stops underway. Actually, it looks like Jennings already has caught up to the pace car. There's that, but I guess these are the lapped vehicles, right? So lap vehicles are not allowed to pit with the lead lap vehicles. Yeah, these are the lap vehicles coming off the pit lane.
Yeah, and the guy that definitely did not want to see that caution, Sean Jennings, 8.5 second lead at one point. Now he's going to be split back up and have to do it over again. But this time he's got a new chorus behind him of drivers.
So it completely slipped my mind. We had the stage at lap 53. I'm gonna just take a wild guess and say Jonathan Jennings won that one. He was way out there. So Jonathan Jennings with the stage 1 victory back on lap 53. Stage 2 will come to its conclusion at the end of lap 120. So 50 laps to go. This time out of start finish, I believe we're gonna have the choose rule right here. 50 laps to the end of stage number 2, and we'll re-rack them. We'll go at it again. Does anything have what it takes for Jonathan Jennings? The choice is being made: high side, low side. I'll be honest. There's a couple lap cars that just really didn't make a choice, but
yeah, I'm not sure what's up there, but yeah, definitely some lap cars not making a choice.
And we're going to add a pace lap. I'd imagine this is probably for the waiver rounds. Stick them around to make a choice and, not be eaten up by the leader right as we go green again. Well, let's go ahead and take a look and see how the weather has changed. We're now nighttime here at the racetrack, and the track we re-chose, so we weren't ready to choose. 10-4.
Interesting there. Both of the Performance Sim Sports guys take the inside lane. But, yeah, we get back to the weather. It's not changed much. Track temp probably just due to how many laps these guys have run, up 1 degree. But the winds stay still relatively calm out of the south at about 4 miles an hour.
Added another pace lap. We've had 1 lead change today. That was Jacob Reeves losing the lead to Jonathan Jennings. 2 cautions now working. Our 13th completed lap under caution. Will this be the time we get the 1 to green? If I knew we were going to add these caution laps, which of course I know Race Control is trying their hardest. There's actually Joshua Balliet is up there with a new guy as well, working at Race Control, and I mean this is a short track. Things get really jumbled up here, so it gets tough for Race Control at times.
Just want to point out a big shout out to John Jennings there on the paint scheme. I just actually realized what it was. Callahan Auto Parts Store car, based off of the movie Tommy Boy. So. Cool little tribute there to Chris Farley. I really like that, Jennings.
How about that? The iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety in the pit lane. We're back at it from the Fairgrounds. Well, here we go. A battle for the lead, and Joseph Kazi diving it down into turn 1. He will clear to the race lead. Second lead change of the day.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was saying, those Performance Sim Sports guys really like the bottom of this racetrack. And Kazi's been rolling it really well all night long, and that Abruzzi 88 machine is up to the front. Pace in the field, dives it off of turn 2. Really running a defensive line there just to try and take Jennings' line away.
Gosh, some of those camera shots, this camera shot right here, it looks like these drivers just dive and dart into the corner right there. It's so cool to see these drivers and how they have to run this track. Oh, here comes Jennings with a run back at it.
Yeah, Jennings not really to get ready to give away the fight that easily. Dives it to the inside. We know how good that car is on the inside when he wants to be. And we get the end of turn 1, still side by side. Looks like Jennings is going to possibly clear. He will, but the 88 may have the run down the backstretch.
You saw what Jennings did. He stayed defensive. He didn't let Kazi get a crossover on him. And he will pull away. We saw, Jennings, he's definitely going to be a driver who just can really roll that bottom. He said, all right, you can run your diamond line. I'm going to go ahead and just take this bottom lane. Take the clean air you give me. No. Jeremiah Stutzman has called it a day. Something amiss with the 71.
A lot of damage to that car right now. He didn't have damage before the pit stop, so definitely something happened with that 71 car.
Looks like he's just been back there for a minute, so I guess it lit up red on my end for whatever reason. And Matthew Setter's also called it a day, but we are back to racing here, and it is Greg Holt who's up to second. He's gotten the fastest lap. Does Greg Holt have what it takes to take it away from Jonathan Jennings?
Yeah, Causey really falling off the pace here after getting to the lead for a second. So I'm not sure if that was just a play to get a bonus point for leading a lap, and then he's going to fall back and try and conserve. But Greg Holt likes to play the long game. He likes to have the best car at the end of the run. We saw how big of a lead Jennings had, though. So Greg Holt really going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to challenge this 91 machine.
I'm starting to notice Greg Holt, another one of those drivers who leaves it in fourth gear and actually has to really feather the throttle there off of fourth. But I saw drivers shifting in practice. Like, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. You know, it's just, you know, a track where you have to slow down a lot of these corners. But drivers now leaving it more in fourth gear. I can't remember if they're able to change the rear end ratio. They are able to change the rear end ratio, so maybe I can't imagine why drivers wouldn't have, you know, made it where they could use fifth gear for this, but
yeah, I'm not sure. The RPMs aren't super high when they get into the turn. Maybe just under 9,000 there. You see.
They could have shortened the rear end, no? To have this happen for fifth.
You could, but a lot of these guys, of course, you know, customary to the four gearbox that used to be in NASCAR. Now we have 5 in the Cup Series, so maybe it's just a comfort thing for these drivers, kind of custom and used to using only 4 gears.
I think so. Let's see here. Seth Berger also leaving in fourth gear. Looks like a lot of drivers are starting to adapt to that, leave it in the fourth gear. Oh no, Andrew Sinclair back hard into the inside wall.
Yep, Andrew Sinclair not having the best of nights here. Gets it rolling again, and he's going to stay out on the track. But yeah, that 12 car's taking quite a beating tonight.
Jacob Reeves and Max Service, the closest battle inside the top 5. Jacob Reeves, remember the speed he had on the short run. He started to fade in the middle of a long run. And at the very tippy end of the long run, before that caution came out, Reeves was starting to rally back.
Yeah, it looks like he backed off at the end of in the middle of that run, really trying to save his stuff, realizing that he was running really hard. Wanted to save his equipment, and it kind of came back to fruition for him at the end of the run. Another driver that maybe thought, hey, maybe I do have a really good car on the long run here. I want to save my stuff a little bit, so could see a similar strategy from him now. But yeah, he's in front of the 81 and running the line he is. It's going to be really hard to get around him.
That diamond, it really is powerful. Because of the banking, you're able to do this. You know, last night you said we ran the league race at Phoenix, and we really tried to do this. And while it's doable, it's so much easier to do it when you have banking.
Yeah, doing it when it's a flat turn like turns 1 and 2 at Phoenix, it's a little bit tougher. Car wants to go just dead straight, so it's really hard. But when you have some banking, it helps that car turn. You know, just having that G-force kind of pull the car back down to the bottom of the racetrack, letting gravity do some work for you, and you know, it's really nice to have. But yeah, these drivers really seem to like that diamond effect here. We've seen it work at other tracks. Whoa, Andrew St. Cyr really almost got in to Greg Holt there. That 12 car very darty right now. Just does not look like it's in the best handling condition, as Greg Holt has reeled in John Jennings.
Oh, we at the bobble there, trying to get by his teammate of all people, Nathan Aldrich. And wow, that's going to hurt Greg a lot. He just doubled the gap right there, trying to get by the lap vehicle. Trying to see if he can reel in Jennings again. Down to 4.5 tenths through the center of the corner. But Back up to 6. Maybe Greg's just charging the corner very hard on the entry, and he can't get the power down on exit. While Jennings, how he got by to the race lead, he rolled the bottom. He's also fallen to this diamond kind of line. Now Greg trying to chase him down is kind of rolling the bottom.
Yeah, it's interesting how these guys change their driving style when they're in the lead versus when they're trying to get the lead, trying to track each other down, run each other's line, take a line away. Taking the air off of the nose with the guy behind you can really hurt their pace, really slow them down, and then they have to find a new line. That was a close call there with Doug Solms, but yeah, it could really hurt and upset the car. Trying to find a different line, especially if your car is set up to run a certain way. So Jennings maybe just trying to run that defensive line, take Greg's line away from him, so Greg has to find a different way to get to catch up to him.
Stage 2 points will be awarded at the completion of lap 120. We've just started lap 100. Quick shout out to our partners at Pits.tv, Tucson Sound Art, Purple Crowd, Maine, Whiplash Media, and BAM Racing Videos. Now 100 laps complete, which means this track clocking in at just under 0.6 of a mile. That means less than 60 miles complete here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, but it's already been a pretty decently length race. I think we've fallen out almost to the hour mark. And I'd say we've gone to about 42 minutes of racing action so far. And halfway tonight, we're looking at about lap 132, 133. If you want to round up there. So intriguing. Looks like we have to have somebody just take the pit lane there. Jonathan Jennings, absolutely dominant today. Been as low as third. He's led 86 laps.
And just an absolute dominating performance by the 91. He won at Auto Club 2 weeks ago, the last race in this series, and he didn't dominate that race by any means. Just kind of came out at the end on the last pit stop and had the best car towards the end of the race, and then the best position to get it done. Tonight, though, a completely different story. He's been here in the lead mostly all of the race, it seems like. And, man, that car is on rails. He's opened up about a second gap so far on Greg Holt. We really don't see that too often done to Greg Holt. Normally he's the guy that's, picking up the pace as the run goes on.
Well, how about this? We got teammates duking it out with inside the top 10 here. This is the battle for the 7th position. Seth Fitzpatrick trying to fend off teammate John Mickey. Mickey was all over the the rear bumper there, all through the center of these corners, but Fitzpatrick just puts the power down better.
Yeah, he does get the power down, running a little bit of a higher line now. He runs to the inside, but Mickey might have the run here off the turn. He's not able to maintain it, but man.
He gained, actually.
Yeah, he's here we go. Now he's going to get it possibly.
Right there, Fitzpatrick pulled. Yeah, it's so.
Yeah,
tough.
It looks it's so tough to maintain it. And then there's the guy behind. At certain points, you think you're gaining a little too fast on him. You don't want to send your teammates, so you back off just a hair, and it kills any chance at a run. But here we go. It looks like he has a much better run down turn number 3. Just not able to get it done. Sending it in there. They have to run the outside. Yeah, they got to run the outside of Solms. They're almost clipping the wall, both of them. And, Mickey goes high. Seth goes low. Let's see what happens.
That's going to be huge for John. Look at this. Oh, but he bobbled over the bumps. He tried. If this track was a little bit more smoother, that would have been amazing for John.
Yeah, that would have been a big run down the backstretch here. This is the closest battle on track right now that we have. But, man, what a battle indeed. We also have a battle. Reeves and Seth Berger are kind of close together.
Oh, yeah, Reeves is right there on the rear end there of the Berger. That's number 77.
Yeah, Reeves really taking care of his stuff this time around. Just looks like the Swift Racing guys, their car maybe set up for somewhat of a shorter run, not really these long runs. Might have to get some work done, some adjustments on the next pit stop, but yeah, it really looks like John Jennings, Greg Holt, and Causey kind of set up for these long runs, and they're just kind of pulling away here. Actually, Joseph is not really pulling away. He's right there in front of Seth, but yeah, definitely Greg Holt and John Jennings, though, definitely pulling away.
And if they are set up for the short run, I can see why they said that. We think back to the first time we ran the Nashville Fairgrounds in the Outlaws Sim Series. We had a record in the Outlaws Sim Series, 15 yellows. We think back to, how difficult this NextGen vehicle has been on everybody. Their learning process. This is the first short track of the season, and a track that's been, I know we've only ran one other time here, but a track that has produced a high amount of cautions, and a car that's very difficult to drive, that has been causing crashes all over the iRacing service. I mean, this car is difficult, and we've seen even the best of drivers, lose these vehicles. I could expect, I could understand why drivers expected, quite a few cautions maybe in the early going of this race, but it looks like everybody has this track and this car pretty well figured out, at least this week.
Yeah, now we only have 4 laps to go in this current stage number 2. So if Reeves wants to get it done and get up to 4th position, he's going to have to get it done here really quickly. He's trying to dive it off, but it looks like he's kind of lost some of his steam from when he was right on that back bumper. But we go back here to the battle between Mickey and Fitzpatrick. Those two can battle it here for position. They've got a couple of lap down cars in front of them, though, that may factor into this decision.
We'll see here how aggressive will teammates be on one another for stage points, for one stage point between them. Intriguing. You saw Fitzpatrick actually really go up there in the center of the corner, try to get that run. He's not going to pull up to Andrew St. Coeur as Mickey's not clear of Aldrich. And here we go again. Mickey will try to chase him down. I don't know if Mickey's going to have the time, but Fitzpatrick clipped the apron there. Oh, a huge send for John.
Yeah, he's really getting sent there, and Fitzpatrick really checking up just to get around Andrew St. Coeur. This could be it. It's not able to get it in. I think
if that wasn't his teammate, he would have done that. He would have sent it.
Yeah, and he's loose getting off the turn. So this might decide this battle. Fitzpatrick is going to hold on here as we're coming to the end of stage number 2.
The 91 of Jonathan Jennings. 2 for 2 in the stages. Stage 2 for the 91. Greg Holt gets second over Joseph Causey, Seth Berger, Jacob Reeves, Max Service. Then this battle, it'll be Seth Fitzpatrick over John Mickey, Andrew Pratt, James Gilliard lapped, and Pratt has a 10-second advantage over James Gilliard between 9th and 10th. So that is how the stage rundown works.
Yeah, I know he's a lap down, but I have to say, James Gilliard, normally we see him, he's had the worst luck in that 33 car. But, yeah, he's in the top 10 here. I mean, yeah, he's a lap down, but overall, I mean, he's got a little bit of damage to the right rear. But for the most part, that's a decent run so far in this 33 machine.
Well, James Gilliard, he only has the top 10. He has the top 10 from Canadian Tire, and he kind of got that late because of a couple late wrecks. It has not been Gilliard's season. He has an average finish this season of 15.67. So this is well above his average finish, and good little run for him so far.
Yeah, really has some speed in the car. Maybe not as much as the leaders at this point, but definitely a lot better performance than we've seen from James Gilliard so far this season. Possibly could be a turn point again. Like I said, he is a lap down, but I think that's just more so that John Jennings is just on a rail. He's opened up the 2-second gap now over Greg Holt. And, man, I don't know if anybody has anything for that 91 tonight.
Well, coming into tonight's race, Seth Berger was the driver who had the most laps led so far in this season. That's ironic since he's missed a race as well. But Seth Berger came into tonight's race with 54 laps led, Schumacher 44, and Causey 38. Jennings only had 36. that, of course, this race being the longest race in terms of lap count so far this season, that is going to absolutely change.
Yeah, John Jennings going to have a nice advantage here if he keeps this lead up. I fully expect that he should. That car again on the rails. He's coming here to put Gilliard two laps down now. That's 10th place right there, going 2 laps down. Again, this is a short track, just over a half a mile, but just under 0.6 of a mile. But yeah, it's crazy to think that 10th place is already 2 laps down.
And we saw, remember how close Greg Holt was to Jonathan Jennings. Jennings has absolutely mauled Greg Holt's pace here as we get to the middle portion of that run. There's that lean green number 31 machine that we're so used to qualifying up front and being up front. This is, that's unusual for Brad Bothwell to not even set a qualifying time. And now he's back, you're feeling that too in 16th, 4 laps down.
Yep, I'm not sure everything is completely up to snuff on the that 31 Machines Next Gen program. We saw him; he was so good in the trucks last season, putting on a clinic when it came to qualifying and qualifying pace. There's almost contact there between the 31 and the 12, but yeah, just that the Next Gen program may not be progressing as quickly as the trucks were. Again, this is a brand new car on the service, so a big learning curve for a lot of these teams. And we see, some of the teams get it right off the get-go. Some of the teams have to go back to the drawing board. So, anytime there's a big regulation change, new car to deal with, you see this where some teams just kind of hit the nail on the head and some teams miss right off the bat.
Halfway from the Nashville Fairgrounds, Jonathan Jennings' absolute dominance thus far into our 265 lap race. He has a 3-second lead over Greg Holt and make that 6.5, now 6 3/4 of a second over third place. Tightest battles on the track fall back to the 5th and, 4th, 5th, and 7th positions, respectively. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 2 battles there. And oh no, we have some crashing on the back straightaway. That's Brad Bothwell, who was stopped in turn 3.
We were just on him, and now he's stopped it. Oh, hang on there. There we go. We get it rolling. Doug Solms. Oh, there goes Spur.
There's the leader. Oh my goodness.
Everybody makes it out very clean and safe, but he had a little bit of a perilous parking spot to find there in the 31. He's going to pull it off to the apron there. He's not satisfied at all. Just
I think he's going to come in here.
Yeah, I think he may be done.
Let's go ahead and see what happened to Brad Bothwell. How that was a weird spot to end up. How he ended up there. Well, here we go. We catch the 31 of Brad entering up there. I think we just cut away from him as this happened. He was, Greg sideways in front of him, and oh my goodness!
Yeah, the little checkup from Greg just kind of got Brad out of shorts. Did not want to make contact with the second place car. So good job of staying off, Greg.
On the speedway. I don't know if this ended up being the yellow, but I don't see anybody else with the trouble.
Yeah, Brad just wanted to stay off Greg there and tried not to, take out second place, but it ends up costing him his race, unfortunately. But I think that, Brad's just not happy with the program, the Next Gen program so far this season. A lot of work needs to be done there in his camp to get this corrected, but I'm sure they're going to. Every week is a new challenge. So a lot of these tracks we've never been to before in this car, and NASCAR doesn't even go to, so a lot of learning curve. And
there it is. There's the yellow right there. Devin Smith and Nate Aldrich on the back straightaway. That's what the caution was for.
Yeah, you got to it. It's down the straightaway, just I guess not knowing that there's a guy on the outside. We'll get another look at it here.
Got to look up above here. I was looking through the running room, like I didn't see anybody.
Yeah, Devin had to check up quite a bit.
He's sideways.
He was loose. He was loose, and it just came right up in front of Aldrich there.
And Devin, being an admin, he understands what constitutes yellow. Oh, goodness. Just lost control. He probably called it there. Yellow was out. Everybody slows down. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and a guy who's not enjoying these cautions at all, John Jennings, going to have to restack it again. But, man, that car is so strong, I don't really think he minds too much getting 2 stage wins here. And we're now entering stage 3, and his car still...
Oh, he checked up big time there for Gilliard. I
Just
think
loose.
that was what set it off, honestly.
Yep. And he just got loose and couldn't hold it.
But I
Going
think
back
it
up
was
the track.
I think it was there. He was trying just not to hit the 33, and that really upset the balance of his car.
Yep. I think we're going to get pit stops if we haven't already.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. We got pit stops already. So new tires on these guys. They're going to restack it here. We get another good look here at the beautiful facility, Nashville Fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee. You can see the downtown city center there off in the distance. Beautiful facility. You also see the billboard outside of the track, NASCAR to Nashville. That's kind of been a big push from some big names, one of those being Dale Earnhardt Jr., really pushing for this track to possibly make a return to Cup Series racing.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing, about getting this track to the service. It would open a lot of doors to the potential that, North Wilkesboro as well come into the service. Bringing that legacy feel, even though, it's not considered legacy track on the service, bringing that feel, that these old tracks get to live on in the sim form, even if they don't, unfortunately, get to live on in the real world. And, average drivers, sim or professional drivers could experience that for themselves or whatever the case may be. It's just really cool that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and this crew, they go out to these tracks and they get these things laser scan. Well, he doesn't, so but Dale Earnhardt Jr. being a huge advocate for iRacing, helps out with a lot of that. But here we go. We're getting ready to get back to racing here from the Nashville Fairgrounds. We're back to racing, and around goes Joseph Causey. Oh no!
Oh my goodness, Joseph Causey gets it looped around. He gets it going right. Only a single car incident, so we stay green. That 88 car, though, from second place, just gassed it up. I know Joseph, he's a risk taker. He likes to try and start the car in first gear sometimes on these restarts, and I think that's one of the times where it just kind of bit him, where he's not able to get the restart that he wanted. But that puts Jacob Reeves back in second place.
Yeah, we won't go ahead and catch a replay. We saw a little bit of that live. It was Causey just accelerating on the bottom side. There's so little grip down there. And like you said, he likes to experiment with the restarts. He likes to see if he can get a better start in first gear. And I don't know if that was exactly the case there, but that's definitely, some things he would try. Also just how bumpy it is down there. And yeah, it's so hard to get by Jonathan Jennings. He had to do what he could, and unfortunately that's kind of the risk he took there. Greg Holt found his way back in the pack. I think maybe
he had issues on the pit stop.
Either that or he took damage repairs on the pit stop. He doesn't have a hood anymore, so I would imagine maybe some damage repairs.
Yeah, we're not sure what happened to. Oh wow, I didn't even see that before. I wonder what in the world happened to Greg. We missed that. Apologies to all the Greg Holt fans, but yeah, that's a big development there. The car that looked to be comfortably in second place now finds himself in a lot of trouble. And the Performance Sim Sports guys, very quickly running, second and third, now find themselves running, seventh. And Joseph Causey, the last car on the lead lap, but he's got big time damage as well as Greg Holt.
Oh no, he almost made contact there with, I believe that's James Gillard as well. Greg Holt. That car is not looking sleek.
That's the 11 there.
Sorry, the 11 is Scott Bailey, you're right. Swift Racing teammates going at it. Seth and Max inverse the positions. Third place Max, fourth place Seth. Jacob Reeves there in second as well, and Fitzpatrick in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, one person's loss, another man's his treasure, and one of the guys who's kind of worked his way up from that is Seth Fitzpatrick. His teammate John Mickey still back there in 6th, kind of following along. But yeah, Seth Fitzpatrick quietly having a great night up into the inside the top 5 now in 5th place, hanging with these Swift Racing guys as they're trying to hang with Jacob Reeves, and Jacob Reeves is trying to hang onto the coattails of John Jennings, who's already opened up about a 1.5-second gap.
Working lap 153 at 265, a little bit of smoke on the back straightaway. Derek McMurtry has pulled it off the track. I'd imagine that might have been him.
Fortunately, Derek McMurtry's bad luck continues. A track that he was looking had a lot of speed. We interviewed him beforehand, trying to see, maybe this is a track that he could get it turned around, and it's just not to be tonight. Unfortunate for the 84 car, but next week we should be able to, he has another shot to get it righted. Not out of it yet by any means. It's a long season, and you can really turn some unfortunate luck at the beginning of the season around towards the end of the season. As now we see Max Service trying to send it there on the inside of Jacob Reeves, not able to get it done that time.
He's trying that diamond. He's using the hill to his advantage. Trying to get to the inside. He got to the inside there, but is it going to be enough? Max is clear. They're going to be side by side across the line. Still says Max was 3rd, so Reeves got him at the line.
Yeah, a little bobble from Reeves off of turn number 2. Still side by side. And looks like Max still, is he clear? He slides up in front of the 22 there. Finally gets clear of him. Now Seth Berger's turn to get around him.
Oh, no!
Seth Fitzpatrick's around.
Garrett Velsey I believe that was Garrett Velsey. Made contact there with Seth Fitzpatrick. Oh, no. Maybe it was another white car. I can't tell if we're staying green, and he's stuck up there, and he's towed off the track.
Oh, and that was Reeves right in front of him right before he towed.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a replay. I might have jumped the gun there. I just saw a white vehicle make contact with it was not Garrett Velsey. I can't tell who that is. It's a 4 car, 14. Oh, that's the 14. It's a newcomer. Robert Gianni just came into this series, and oh no, he misses the bottom.
Both of them, Gianni misses the bottom and does what we've seen some other guys do, just washes up into the guy on the outside. And unfortunately, Seth Fitzpatrick, who's having a great run, is the one who loses out the most.
My apologies again to Garrett Velsey. That was not him. And the 14 car, I had not really seen it, to be completely honest. He's kind of been hanging about. He's actually up into the top 10 now, but very unfortunate there what happened. One more look at it, because this is huge. This is a top 5 driver just essentially taken out of the race, and wow, just got in there way too hard.
Yeah, surprising not to see a caution come out there with his 2-car incident. And then, of course, with the way that these cars are and the short track, there wasn't a chance for Fitzpatrick to get down. We see Reeves, he's fallen back quite a bit. John Mickey has made his way up into 4th position.
Maybe something to miss before through. That car looks clean, so maybe just got sideways off of the corner. But John Mickey, right? John Mickey is looking for a podium. John Mickey going at 69. He's caught up to the Swift Racing camp.
Yep, John Mickey slowly but surely making his way to the front. He's caught the rear bumper of Seth Berger, and Seth Berger has the rear bumper of Max. So, man, if he can get around both here, he would be sitting in 2nd place. Service up high. You can see him. He's trying to diamond this turn. Seth kind of running more of that bottom, and Mickey really sticking to the bottom. It looks like Runs it a little bit higher in 3 and 4, but a big run here from Mickey.
Oh, he had to lift there. He was going to pull out the wall if he didn't lift. He's in third gear. Wow. You know what? How I was saying about the rear end gear ratio and how you could shorten that to put that fifth gear. The other way around works too. You could extend that, make it third gear your running gear. Hey, that's what happened with the Last Chance Racing group of Fitzpatrick and Mickey, maybe.
Yeah, and you see that, man, you see the RPMs that he's pulling in third gear. He's up around 9,300 RPMs. As the guys in fourth gear, we were seeing that they were getting about 85, 86
Right.
at the max. So maybe they're thinking, hey, these bigger RPMs give me a better run, and I'm able to pick it up a little bit better, maintain a little bit more
rotation.
speed. Helps with rotation, and so maybe that's what they're thinking as he is on the back bumper of Seth Berger now, right on the back bumper off of turn 4. Had to back it up a little bit, but man, he closes in so well. That car just riding the bottom in turns 1 and 2.
It's crazy to think that we have 5 gears in these cars, and we're watching somebody race third gear all the way around an oval. I cannot believe that. And he's not doing bad either. He's well within the top 5 and looking to third.
Yeah, he gets to the quarter panel of Seth, but not able to make it stick off the turn. Just that defensive line about, one lane
Seth
up.
got sideways there to center the corner. That was huge.
Yeah, but the Seth running that defensive lane about one lane up from the bottom seems to be very, very good at defending your position. And Seth wanting to maintain a podium here. He sees an ample opportunity to gain more spots on the field and put that 77 machine higher up in the standings order, and he wants to maintain every point.
So this battle for second, third, and fourth, 4 seconds off of the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, who continues to do his work at the front of the field. We'll go ahead and check in on our race later. There he is.
I feel like he's just
157 laps led.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like he's just on a Sunday drive here, cruising around. That 91, not a scratch on it so far, just easy run, making quick work of pretty much every car he comes across now. Whereas these guys back here, second, third, and fourth, man, really fighting for position. These cars all
Mickey.
over each other.
He had a chance there. And now he goes. There he goes. He's going to dive it up the inside of our Season 1 champ. And he will clear John Mickey into the third position.
And he's not satisfied with that. He sees
Absolutely
Max
not.
Service right there in front of him. So he's going to go after Max now. Max kind of running that same line as Seth Berger. And John knows how to take that line down now. He's done it once. Can he do it again and get to second place here?
Just phenomenal stuff. And again, our closest battle on the track, Jeremiah Stutzman has returned to the track. He came into today's race in third in the point standings. So we'll see how that turns out. This is going to be a huge thing with the points, by the way. But the top 2 coming into today's race in points, Jonathan Jennings, Max Service. At the moment, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. And he's got there underneath of Max, not able to maintain it, loses a little ground, but he's
Might be able to
still
send
there.
it.
He's going to send it. Send it into turn 3, and he
Max
completes
gives
the
him room.
pass.
Second place, John Mickey. How about it? This is absolutely phenomenal stuff. We still have 85 laps to go. 86 this time by the start finish. And John Mickey, now we'll see now if he can get some clean air. What kind of a lap time is he running in comparison to Jonathan Jennings? Is there a legitimate chance we could talk about that? Right now, that lap you're in a 19.338, while Jennings ran a 19.261. But he did just get clear of Max, so we'll give him another couple laps to get reacquainted to a clear racetrack. We'll see what John Mickey is able to do. That time around, it was a 290 to a 398, so still about a 10th off.
Yeah, that 91's just on a different level than these guys tonight. He's brought a very good package, a very good race car here with him. As we see Costa Cause is still on the lead lap, just barely. 14 seconds behind. I think it's shorter to count the seconds that Jennings is behind Causey to put him a lap down. But yeah, Joseph, after the miscue on the restart, still maintaining position here, back in 8th place. That's the first car not a lap down. So yeah, he didn't fall back too much, Emerson.
He will get clear of Andrew Pratt right there, and that'll then change now to Causey about 2 seconds back of Jacob Reeves. Causey still has a decent shot to get a top 5 if he is faster than Greg. While Greg, he's not up to par. Greg has just cleared Jacob Reeves, and he's not really pulling away from the 22.
Yeah, I mean, we know that those Performance Sim Sports guys have monster setups in these cars, but just the damage to these cars really hampering the performance that they're getting. And yeah, I mean, we know how fast Greg is. He was up there trying to hang on to Jennings, hanging about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds back of him, which is better than anyone else has been able to do. But now that he has that damage, he's well over 10 seconds now, about 13 seconds back from the 91 car.
We can look now at John Mickey, who is now running 3/10 faster that last lap to Jonathan Jennings, and he has long cleared Max and Seth. He's now 1 second and change ahead of Max and Seth. John Mickey is on it.
Yeah, John Mickey really showing his stuff tonight. Emerson talked to him in the pre-race show.
Identical laps that last time around between the 91 to 69.
Yeah, and you talked to him in the pre-race show. He said, he wants to get it turned around, get his season going in the right direction here. We talked to 2 drives. I talked to Derek McMurtry. You talked to John Mickey. And both of them struggling early on, but we're wondering if they could find their way tonight, start making up some momentum. Unfortunately, with the guy I talked to, McMurtry, he's sitting in 20th position, 50 laps down, but and he's off the track, not running currently. Whereas your guy, John Mickey, really showing out tonight.
The last 2 laps, he's been faster than Jonathan Jennings by a decent amount. That time around, over 4/10 faster than Jonathan Jennings. This time by the start-finish line, still 7/100 faster than Jonathan Jennings. He's running consistently faster than Jennings.
Yeah, and it was up over almost 6 seconds. It's now down to almost 4-second lead. And we really seeing that 69 car starting to reel in slowly. The 91, I know the 91 is having to deal with some lap traffic, some tail end of the lead lap cars here. He did just put Andrew Pratt a lap down. He has got Joseph Causey just up the road in front of him. So, these guys...
Causey's not going to give that one easy, dude.
Yeah, he's not going to give it easy, and he's going to want to try and hold on to the position. So this could be factoring into the times as well. Jennings having to do it. As we saw a guy going around up to 2.
I believe that was the 14 of Gianni again. Contact with the 11. Now that left side is all torn up.
Everybody keeps going, but yeah, that got very interesting as that was right in front of second place John Mickey.
And John Mickey had to adjust and had to check up for that. But Mickey ran 7/1000 faster than Jennings that lap, even with checking up. This is just absolutely phenomenal. That time Jennings runs faster.
Yeah, he's got some open track in front of him now, not dealing with lap cars. So, as long as these lap cars continue to be in Jennings' way, this could shape up to a very good finish here between these 2 drivers. That 69 just looks very planted on the inside here. That 3rd gear really helping him out quite a bit.
466 to 456. Jennings, then Mickey's lap time. Mickey, very small margins, but still running faster. That time at a stripe, he was slower. So it's a little fluctuation going on here, which is not going to help John Mickey all that much, but he might break it under 4 seconds here soon.
Yeah, he's really trying. And now Jennings has caught Joseph Causey. Causey running a defensive line, really holding up Jennings there. Now he runs that middle line. Jennings trying to get the run off the turn. He's going to try and dive it down underneath him here. Maybe, nope, not able to get the run this time. But, man, yeah, Joseph running that defensive line, not letting Jennings have any daylight here.
This is going to be a tough one. Again, Causey understands he needs to stand the lead lap for his race to stay alive. If there's any sort of a late race yellow, Causey needs to be in position to take advantage of it.
And you see up there on the top left, the time is tumbling down for Jennings' lead over John Mickey. It's now down to almost 3.5 seconds, almost a whole half a second taken out, or actually a whole second taken out almost, just from this battle of Jennings trying to clear Joseph Causey. And, Causey's going to fight him the whole way. He's not going to make it easy. If Jennings does get by him, he'll let off. But until that happens, that 88's going to fight him the whole time.
Now you can see that gap a little bit large on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. That is the gap between Jonathan Jennings and John Mickey. This is huge for us, again, because Jonathan Jennings has been the most dominant driver of the day. He's looking to lead somewhere in the ballpark of 200. I mean, let's see how many laps he's led so far. 185. He needs 50 more laps, and he would have led 200 laps. But John Mickey has somehow come out of the shadows. And here comes Jennings trying to lap Joseph Causey. Now Causey's going to fight it. Jennings got sideways over the bump. We're not done.
Yeah, Causey's still fighting on the outside, not giving him any room. But this time he's going to have to, I believe, give way.
Yep,
and Jennings has finally cleared him.
And that is huge. I don't imagine Causey would do that same thing if John Mickey were to come up to him, though, which could be huge. Oh, here comes Causey again. He's not done. Oh, Jacob Reeves. Something to miss at the 22.
The 22 really slow there in the center of the track. He must have had an issue. But what this does is gives Causey another hope. Can he clear him now? I don't know if he's going to be able to. It looks like Reeves is the preferred line, and Causey loose.
It's a big moment there for the 22 of Jacob Reeves. I want to see if we can go ahead and try to find it really quick. Might be a hard one to find, but we'll see. He might have just actually gotten sideways off of turn 2 here. We'll see this time on the replay. Off of turn number 2, he's close to Greg here. He absolutely loses it. Very late. Oh my goodness! What a save!
Wow, what a save!
Oh my goodness! But there's you see the
Reeves. Woo! Didn't hit a thing.
Unbelievable. We want to know that gap now between Jennings and Mickey. 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds that time.
Yeah, and this has been a couple of laps now. I mean, that he has cleared that traffic, and he's starting to open up a little bit, but it's kind of maintained. So, 3.1, 3.2 seconds. To John Mickey. Now, John Mickey's got to get around these guys too. I don't imagine that they're going to be as hard to clear as Jennings was, but he's still got to clear him. It's going to throw him off his line just a bit. So I imagine that there will be some time lost when he clears these drivers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be a walk in the park by any means to get up there, but that time Mickey runs a significantly slower lap to Jennings. I'd imagine he was working through traffic.
He's got a guy.
Right now.
He's got a guy to his outside. I believe that's Fitzpatrick. Or no, it's not Fitzpatrick. That is Gilliard. Yep, Gilliard to his outside now, so he finally clears him. But yeah, back up to 3.5 seconds now. He's just trying to work his way through the traffic.
Elsewhere on the track, the closest battle on track is between the Swift Racing teammates of Max and Seth and Causey and Jacob Reeves, which has now changed hands again. Does Jacob Reeves... Now, Causey's car, we know his front end is annihilated. Does Jacob Reeves have the tires in the car to get back to Joseph Causey and outpace him? We shall see.
Yeah, the laps are starting to tick down here. Almost, we 265 we started with, and almost getting down to about, just a little over 50 to go here.
Yep.
And these laps are going to click off pretty quick. Only about a 16, 17 second lap. So a lot can happen. We've seen some wrecks, but it looks like these guys pretty well spread out. So if Mickey's got some stuff in the bag, he's really got to show it forward now. Still about a 3.3, 3.4 second lead. Ticking down just a little bit here, though.
Now, I don't imagine if these guys do get very close to one another that it'll be much of a battle. But we did also see these drivers nearly wreck each other for the race win 2 seasons ago at this very racetrack.
And then it just shot up to 6 seconds, so I think Mickey had an issue.
Oh, no. Trying to see what it was for John Mickey. We will go grab a replay. Oh, and I might have found it. We're going to catch a little late there. But... oh, no. Oh, no. This is the replay of what happened to John Mickey. That essentially doubled the gap he had to Jonathan Jennings. He was doing so well. I think he just carried too much speed over the bumps. Noses the inside wall. Very unfortunate for John Mickey, who was looking maybe upset, maybe steal the win away from Jonathan Jennings. And while the race is not over by any means, this is a huge damper in that potential opportunity he had, and is no longer looking at the same possibilities to do that.
Yeah, no, not with the with that little love tap there on the inside wall. For sure, it's going to be hard to make that up. And not to mention, he now has, he's going to have some company before long. It looks like he's still a little bit losing some time back to Max Service, who has his teammate Seth Berger right behind him. So the damage may be a little bit more significant than initially thought, especially on that right quarter panel, really affecting handling of his race car here. So maybe it's going to be more so a battle for that second place position as we get later on here.
We shall see. It is 5.5 seconds to gap. Adam Gardner comes in the frame on fresh tires, and now you have to think. We had the restart. It's just, I can't recall exactly what. We had the restart about, I think 60 laps ago. Can these drivers make it on fuel? So we can look at the fuel loads. I believe the fuel loads actually up to 100% now with the Outlaws Sim Series. So it would get full fuel loads, which I believe would put us in the range of about 100 laps. But everybody's running now. 3rd gear, 4th gear, wasting more fuel. Is fuel mileage going to become a concern if we look at it in about 40 laps time?
Very well could be. If these guys want to save, now's the time. Or maybe they're thinking to start to cut this thing in half, maybe run as long as they can. Maybe a caution will come out. A couple of different ways to thinking about this. It's going to be close if these guys can make it.
Jonathan Jennings, with a 7.8 second advantage at the front of the field, has now passed the 200 lap lead mark. That, along with his 36 laps led earlier in the season, is going to absolutely skyrocket that lap lead total. And Jonathan Jennings has been on an absolute tear at the beginning of this season, with the pole at Daytona, the podium at Canadian Tire, the win at Auto Club, and the dominance today. Jennings looks like he just gets better every single week.
Yeah, he really has that car dialed in. Had it dialed in at the end of the race at Auto Club, and showed what he could do there. It was kind of crazy to see him come out of nowhere to get that win. He started up front, but just was not able to, to get the win or to get going right away. But in the end, he did come away with the win. Dialed it in throughout the race, got it feeling right. Today, he's been on it from the get-go.
Absolutely, and well deserved. I mean, it's crazy. Coming into the Outlaw season, we didn't really expect some new guy to come in and absolutely shake the Outlaw Sim Series up to the extent that we're seeing now. But Jonathan Jennings, granted, it's only 4 races, but it's been 4 phenomenal races. Is he emerging as a potential championship contender with the dominance he's put on so far this season? Again, pole, podium, win, and dominating performance so far.
Yeah, I have to believe he is. He's just showing his speed night, and the defending champion Greg Holt was on the back bumper at one point of Jennings, and he just kind of walked away from him as the run got along. By the time the caution had come out on that run, he was up to about 2-second advantage over Greg Holt, who, that Performance Sim Sports Camp, they're known for having those long run speed cars, and Jennings just was able to walk away from him.
And look at this. The driver directly in front of Jonathan Jennings has an average finish in the point standings in the Outlaw Sim Series of 1.5. This is Seth Berger about to go lap down to Jonathan Jennings. And Seth Berger won the last time the Outlaw Sim Series was here.
And he's in 4th place. Let's just say that. He's 4th place driver. 3rd place driver, Max Service, just right in front of Seth Berger. So, yeah, this is just pure dominance from the 91 of Jonathan Jennings.
It's been a long time since I've seen something like this. It's been a long time. I've seen an absolute blowout of a race like this. This is something else. But at the same time, one of those magic yellow things could turn up at any point and flip this race upside down. So nothing is set in stone.
No, but not by any means. There's still a lot of cars out here who are fighting ill-handling race cars. And
like the Performance Sim Sport guys, which just swapped positions.
Yeah, Causey able to get around Holt. He's up into the 5th position, top 5 for Causey. He's actually tracking down Seth Berger just a bit. So not out of the running by any means as Joseph Causey, but these guys fighting some ill-handling race cars still. Just a couple of them get together. That yellow flag could come out, turn this race upside down. As we see Jennings now trying to put 3rd place Max Service a lap down.
And you got to think of it like at this. If Max gets lapped here, does Seth turn up the wick in case a caution does come out, where he could get the lucky dog and take that away from his teammate as Max lets the leader by. So that puts Max a lap down. Does this battle between Performance Sim Sport Swift Racing teammates for the 3rd position become an even more critical battle for that lucky dog to put yourself back in this race should something happen?
Yeah, you got to be in position, put yourself in position to try and race for the win. Maybe you can make an adjustment on the last stop. You give yourself a very good short run car, so you can maybe challenge that 91 machine on the short run. We saw Causey was able to get around him for one point on the short run, but after about 20 laps that the 91's pace came into fruition. And if you could do that though for just a little bit, maybe hold him off a few laps longer, we're getting about to 20 laps, so if that yellow flag does come out, you got to put yourself in that position.
While we're at it, We will see if Seth makes any advances on his teammate for the lucky dog position. Kind of want to run down the back half of the field so far, and as we're coming towards the end of this race, coming around to 20 laps to go. But I want to say, first of all, Adrian Schumacher did not take the green flag tonight, so he's effectively scored in 32nd. The massive pileup, only 10 laps in, that took out a lot of people. I mean, we're looking at Kevin Thompson, Zoltan Hertzog, Jason Miz, Andrew Schroeder, Farron Elam, Eric Peck, Matthew Setzer. Setzer actually. Well, we'll go from there. Farron Elam retired a few laps after that. Eric Peck lasted a little bit longer. He called it a day. Then Matthew Setzer ran around and spun it out a few more times. He ran about 20 laps down before he brought out a yellow and eventually called it a day. Matt Rogers and Tyler Markle also out of the race behind them. And from then, Adam Gardner is 144 laps down according to timing and scoring. He is still, well, he was still, I think he's brought it in now. Brad Bothwell 21st, 115 laps down. Derek McMurtry called it a day at 108 laps down. Looking at Devin Smith, who brought it in, 92 laps down at this point. Jeremiah Stutzman still out there, 48 laps down. What a trooper. Fitzpatrick is called it a day. Stutzman's going to grab that spot. Only 6 more laps for Stutzman to go grab that spot. From then on, still running Randall Barnett, 18 laps down. Doug Solms, 14 laps down. They're still running. Nate Aldridge, 7 down. Andrew St. Cour, 6 down. Scott Bailey, 5 down. Garrett Velzy, 5 down. Robert Gianni is in 10th. And he's 4 laps down. Jacob Reeves just made a pass on Greg Holt here for position. This is for 6th. And that's huge. And Greg is not having a good handling race car. You saw him bobble there off the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it. You know, these guys maybe fighting some mill handling cars, just a couple of contact, and we could get that yellow. But right now, these guys, you know, pretty spread out. It doesn't look like that may happen with coming to 15 laps to go here. Yeah, it looks to be that John Jennings race.
Things have tightened up in this battle for third, though. This was over 0.4 of a second at one point, and Berger is not content. Just riding. I know it's his teammate, but you could see these guys. Everybody Stutzman's back on the pit lane, by the way. You can see these guys having to really duke it out. Should a yellow come out?
Yeah, they, you know, Seth really on the back bumper. Max just waiting for a mistake, I guess, from Max. Both of them running about the same line, so it's going to be hard to get each other off of that line. Looks like that's where they want their car to be.
That was huge for Max. He didn't bobble as he went over the bottom line there off of 4.
Yeah, definitely getting better runs off of 4. Looks like Seth is a little better off of turn number 2. But Max definitely looks like he is better off of this turn here. He does bobble that time, though. Not able to escape so much. You can see the rear end stepped out just a bit. And Seth a little bit closer this time. He does get the run off, too. It's not going to be big enough, though, to have him make an attempt. But, yeah, this looks to be it. He's really good through the center of 4, and he gets a good run again, but not enough. Just, yeah, trying to manage that run and get the best one you can off of these turns. Again, Seth seems to be better in off of 2. Max seems to be better off of 4 at the current moment. Seth, though, through the center of the turn, looks really good.
Joseph Kiaz is 1.8 seconds back. I don't expect him to make an impact on this battle before this race is over, but he is creeping in the frame, and there's lap traffic. And, of course, we're not at the checkers. Nothing is set in stone. Randall Barnett way up there up on the track. But now he's the last car running. Since Stutzman is no longer running, I can't believe Stutzman didn't run 4 more laps to go get that spot. Stutzman is not going to take that spot from Seth Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's an interesting play. I mean, every point can count. You know, we saw it in the playoffs. One driver...
against Jeremiah Stutzman.
Yeah, against Jeremiah Stutzman, you know, 1 point is what kept them out of each other. So running those laps, getting those points, any way you can really come back in the end and get you a spot possibly. So I can't imagine not running to get those spots, but maybe just the way the car is handling, you just don't think that he can, motor it around a few more times. Not really sure. Can't speculate too much just because we are not in that team communication of that car. So unfortunate for Stutzman. I mean, he was involved in a couple of incidents tonight. Had a good run at Auto Club that was ultimately cut short. But man, yeah, I don't know if anybody would have had a shot at this 91 tonight, though. We're watching him come around. It's going to be 5 laps to go this time by.
Before we close things out, you gotta give major props to John Mickey, who's really looking before the mistake. The only one who might have been able to challenge Jonathan Jennings on the long run. He was absolutely placing that car at the right spot, the right time, taking advantage of every time Jennings had to check up and running the lap times to contend with Jonathan Jennings. He's still running faster than Jonathan Jennings right now, but he's just way too far behind for it to matter on pace straight up. But an absolute phenomenal run. I think this is an amazing turnaround run for John Mickey.
Yeah, and even with the mistake there that kind of took him out of contention, still coming home with a second place finish to probably the most dominant car of the night. Has to feel good in that 69's, mind, just as far as, motivation and momentum going forward. Hey, I can do this. I can beat the Max Service, the Seth Berger, Joseph Causey, Greg Holtz. As long as I get that set, you get the setup dialed in, you can do it. So
Jacob Reeves has looped it around on the front straightaway.
No caution.
But to no avail, because Jonathan Jennings will take the white flag presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. And what a day it's been for Jonathan Jennings. He's led well over 200 laps. He's gone from the pole at Daytona, the podium at Canadian Tire, the lucky, win at Auto Club, to the dominating win tonight here at the Fairgrounds in Nashville. Jonathan Jennings has absolutely stunned the Outlaws Sim Series field with a dominant, absolutely monstrous performance in that number 91 car.
Yeah, and he's kind of putting himself with this win right here, really putting himself out in the forefront as the car to beat early on, making a statement with this win tonight.
So 2 wins in 4 races, and he will increase his point lead. And he'll get to burn it down here in the front straightaway. Well deserved at that. What a job. Wow.
Yeah, we see some nice burnouts here from the 91. He puts it to the inside wall. It's going to get the burnout up against the wall and smoke it down. I don't know if you're going to need that virtual engine anymore, so he's going to reset it, maybe save it for next week.
Fair enough, right? Well, I think it is time. I think we just absolutely have to get this done now with. My goodness. Jonathan Jennings absolutely obliterated the field today with that dominating performance. Jonathan, where do we start? That car was in the right position at the right time all day long. You took the lead on lap 5 and never looked back. You just tell us about how you were able to just put together such a dominant car.
I worked every night the past week and a half on that setup. It felt really good. But if John wouldn't have messed up, he would have got me at the end there.
Oh, that was actually going to be my question. Even though you led 249 laps, it still looked like there was a chance that at the end that maybe that was going to be all for naught with that 69 closing you down. You were having to deal with a lot of lap traffic, and of course, a lot of that towards the middle part of that run was a lot of lead lap cars fighting for their races as well. What What's going through your mind when you have to deal with like a Joseph Kiasi who the only thing that he has going for him is to stay on that lead lap and fend you off while you know somebody is running times just like you are behind you?
It got irritating with particularly him, but I just had to be patient and take advantage of his mistakes.
Fair enough. Well, you came into today's race as the point leader by 22 points. That's absolutely going to skyrocket with the amazing run you put on tonight. 249 laps led. That is. That's got to be close to the most laps led in any single race here in the Outlaws Sim Series. I don't believe it is the record, but it's got to be close at that. Jonathan, it was a phenomenal performance. 2 wins in 4 races. It is a season shaping up in your mind, or you actually you're thinking to yourself you've got a real shot at making a run at this thing, or is it still taking race by race?
This is the race I wanted to see how well we was on the short tracks as a team, and because this was the last test of all kinds of tracks we go to. So yes, I've been very pleased and excited for the rest of the season.
Fair enough. Well, Jonathan, second win on the season. Yeah, a little bit of a break between the last one, so you'll get to continue celebrating as you look forward to next week. Congratulations on the win. We'll give the floor here to shout out. We got a shout out. Thank you. We're gonna thank for the dominant performance tonight here at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yeah, y'all up in the booth, of course. Adam for the putting these things on every week, and my teammates. This race showed how good we work together. And my brother, he actually helped me quite a bit this week. Thank him.
Well, there you go, Jonathan. Once again, congratulations on the second win in 4 races. Best luck to you. Looking forward to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And again, I mean, that is a dominant performance, unlike many. So go ahead, celebrate hard, and then get to work on the next race. You deserve to celebrate hard after that one. Congratulations, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Driver of the number 91, Jonathan Jennings, absolutely stuck it to the field tonight. There's one driver who started to come into frame in the middle portion of that final run who may have had a shot at it, Devin. You're going to be standing by with second place finisher John Mickey.
Hey, John, this is Devin up in the booth. Do you have a copy? I mean, what a great run for you tonight.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you. Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but I'll take it. It was a lot of fun racing a lot of people.
I mean, at the beginning part of the race, you know, you kind of started about mid-pack, worked your way up very slowly. Then finally you cleared up into that second place position and started making some inroads into Jonathan Jennings' lead. For a moment there, did you think you had, you know, the speed to catch him there?
I wasn't sure. I was giving it my all up to including almost spinning out and hitting the wall. So yeah, I was giving it my all, but I don't know if I could have caught him or not. Catching him's one thing, passing him's completely different here.
Yeah, for sure. We saw that passing here can be very difficult. You did um, make it look pretty easy though. A couple times getting around those Swift Racing guys of Max Service and Seth Berger. It seems like once you figured out how to get around Seth, getting around Max, you kind of use the same move. You know, did that getting around Seth kind of teach you some stuff as far as making that pass on Max a little bit easier?
Yeah, and then also running behind the two a lot. He's a teammate. He was getting tight in the center, so I was learning how to back off and try to get underneath of him off. And it worked on Seth. And then me and Max were just talking. He kind of eased up a little bit and let me go because he said I had a really good car. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, it definitely looked like if anyone was going to challenge Jonathan Jennings at one point in the race, it was going to be that 69 machine. And I know Emerson talked to you at the beginning of the broadcast about getting your season turned in the right direction and getting the momentum on your side. I mean, this race, even though you had the incident there, this still has to be a momentum building drive for you.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I can't wait to get to the next one and start working on it, see what we can do there. Just build on it got to keep building on it.
Yeah, that's right. Keep building all the way. As you know, this is a great performance. Or, you're still going to take it race by race. You're looking ahead at maintaining where you're at in the points. What is the mindset going forward that a Jonathan Mickey is going to use to keep himself in this momentum and keep this train rolling?
Well, if I top 10 them to death, hopefully the wins come. So that's what we're going to try to do for the rest of the year.
I love that mindset. Top 10 them to death. Well, I have to say congratulations. It was masterful run for you tonight. Us on the booth, myself and Emerson, truly believe that you did have the speed to track him down there in the middle of the race. And if anyone was going to track down that 91, it was going to be you. And man, we can't wait to see what next week holds for the 69 car.
Well, I appreciate y'all watching and enjoying it. And me either. On to next week.
Yes, sir. On to next week. And that was John Mickey, our second place finisher. And Emerson will be standing by with our third place finisher, Max Service.
Bring on up driver of the number 81, third place finisher tonight, Max. A hard fought race, but you kept yourself well within the top 5, top 10 for sure, all race long. You had your teammate Seth right there to work with all day. Where were you lacking? That extra step, that extra oomph to improve upon that position.
We were bad in the center all day long. It was just so tight. We were struggling really bad, and then off exit I couldn't really put the power down like I wanted to. At the end there, was getting real rough on exit. Just the way I was running, getting the power down across them. The little hump you come across off 4 and off 2, it was starting to get a little bit sketchy, but we were just way too tight in the center all day, and we knew it, but we couldn't make an adjustment to it in race, and we were going to kill the exit of the corner doing anything.
Fair enough. We looked at it, a lot of that, especially that last run. Seth kind of just rode behind you. Where were there points where Seth was, maybe saying that he was faster than you and maybe switch, or what, was he just very content to ride behind you? What was it kind of a team dynamic to just sit and not really, ruin each other's races by running side by side, or what was that like? You all just kind of settled in your spots?
He was just pretty content to ride behind me from what it felt like in Discord. I mean, when I got to, running hard, I'd pull away from him, and then I'd get loose off turn 4, almost wreck the car, and he'd come right back to me. But at the end of the race, he was really trying to push me to get up on it, just so we didn't have Kazi catch us in the throwaway, at least a 3-4 finish, and make it worse than that. But overall, he was pretty content and really didn't make moves on me all day long. We raced each other pretty easily all day, like we normally do. A lot of teamwork usually ends up working out for both people.
It kind of felt like once you got lapped, the ante was upped, and Seth really started to make a little bit of a run at you, understanding that if a yellow did come out late, one of you were going to be the lucky dog. Did you feel that intensity kind of ramp up there as the run came to an end?
I didn't really feel it at all, really. It was just basically, we didn't even care about being lap down or lucky dog or whatever. That was not on our minds at all. We both just wanted it to kind of be over at the end, but it was really just protecting from Gazi, who was coming pretty quick behind us.
Fair enough. Well, Max, you came into today's race second in the point standings. This should definitely help you maintain that position. You'll obviously lose at the point leader, Jonathan Jennings. But at that, setting yourself up for a nice little run here as you start to really get into the meat and potatoes of the season. Next up is Atlanta. What are you looking forward to there?
If we can come with a good setup, we're probably going to be sideways all race, which is always a blast. I always like to be a little bit more sideways than I probably should be. But I love Atlanta. Seth loves Atlanta more than I do. And we should run pretty good, hopefully, if we can get the setup right. I mean, it wasn't very good tonight, quite honestly. We probably should have finished 10th-ish. We drug it to a 3-4, so that's pretty good.
Right on. Well, Max, we'll give you the floor to shout out whoever got a shout out. Thank whoever you got to thank for a podium finish for you and a 3-4 for Swift Racing.
We got to thank Burgers on the hood of the car. We got to thank Taylor Swift. Give a little shout out to Burger Nation and thank all of all the teammates here at Swift Racing really powering through and helping out with the setup.
Right on. Well, third place finisher, Max Service, driver of the number 81. And wow. That was an intriguing race. Again, I had the mindset coming into today's race that we were gonna have a lot of yellows. Car that's very difficult to drive. High power, low downforce, tight radius corners, and very, very uneasy, like very difficult exits to these corners. Along with just the fact that we had 15 cautions here the last time we were here. And it was far from that, Devin.
Yeah, a lot of green flag racing and a dominating performance from the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, really putting his statement on notice here in the Outlaws Sim Series early on in the season, as possibly the driver to beat for this season. Last season we saw Greg Holt kind of put his stamp on it pretty early, and this season we're seeing it again with Jonathan Jennings.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the results. Looking on through the finishing order of tonight's race. Jonathan Jennings, of course, with the race victory. John Mickey comes home in second. Max Service, our third place finisher, 1 lap down. Seth Berger, 4th place, 1 lap down, along with Joseph Causey, 1 down. Greg Holt, 6th, 1 down. Jacob Reeves, also 1 down in 7th. A lot of drivers ended up 1 down. 8th place, Andrew Pratt was the first driver, 3 laps down. James Gilliard came in 9th, 3 laps down as well. And Robert Gianni, the newcomer to the series, had a little bit of contact with Seth Fitzpatrick, who was looking to be a mainstay in the top 5. Robert Gianni will end up in the 10th position with that.
Yep, and then in the 11th position, Scott Bailey, 5 laps down. Garrett Velzy also 5 laps down at 12th. Nathan Aldritz had some trouble. He comes from 7 laps down in 13th. Andrew St. Cour, we saw kind of bouncing all over the place. He stays in it and finishes in the top 15, 14th, 9 laps down. Doug Solms finishes 15th, 15 laps down. Randall Barnett, 19 laps down in 16th. Seth Fitzpatrick, who had an awful night, 58 laps down in 17th. Jeremiah Stutzman, also an awful night, 63 laps down in 18th. Devin Smith, 111 laps down, and this kind of starts Hartsbreaker's Row here in 19th there. And then Derek McMurtry there in 20th, 127 laps down.
And looking on to the rest of the finishing order, Brad Bothwell comes home 21st, 135 laps down. Adam Gardner 22nd, 165 laps down. Tyler Markle 23rd, 169. Matt Rogers 24th, 175. Matthew Setzer 25th. He called it a day at 209 laps off the pace. Eric Peck 26th, 218 laps down. Faraday comes home 27th, 235 laps down. Now we're getting to some of the drivers involved in that pile-up. Andrew Schroeder, 28th, 252 laps down. Jason Miz, 29th, 255 laps down. Zoltan Hertzeg, 261 laps down in the 30th position. Kevin Thompson calls it a day. Only 4 laps into the race. 261 laps down for the 31st place driver, Kevin Thompson. Adrian Schumacher did not take the green flag. I guess making that starting park to, help himself, kind of keep himself up there in the point standings. But at that, wow. Yeah, a lot of drivers in Heartbreaker. So this is a tough track, and that's the finishing result I expected. I just expected a lot more carnage with that.
Yeah, I mean, this track, the way it drives, I mean, we got carnage on, that first big incident, but after that, I think it thinned the field so much that we really didn't see as much cautions there. So maybe unfortunate for those drivers that were involved early on. It would have been a very different race had that not have happened, but that's just the nature of short track racing. Sometimes you get these early cautions that really take out quite a few drivers, and that was the way it went tonight.
Fair enough, right. We look forward now to what's upcoming here for the channel here at Pit Stop TV. Tomorrow night, the North American Racing League GT3 Series is back in action tomorrow night at the Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta. Fantastic course out in Brazelton, Georgia. Tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Round 1, North American Racing League GT3 cars back in action. You won't want to miss that. Tuesday, British Sim Racers are back on Tuesday. They're going to have their round at Silverstone 8 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. here in the States. Should be their Trophy Tuesdays with their Mazda Miatas going to do battle. Cannot wait to see those Miatas do work at Silverstone. And Tuesday night here in the States, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, North American Racing League Porsche Cup continues. Their Pro and Pro-Am categories doing battle at the circuit, the Spa-Francorchamps. Cannot wait to see how those cars. A lot of road racing upcoming. 3 fantastic courses. 3 amazingly history-enriched courses with Road Atlanta here in the States, Silverstone up in Great Britain, and Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Spain. It's in Belgium. Amazing road courses that lead us up to next Wednesday night with the Outlaws Sim Series taken to the, I guess, old configuration of Atlanta. I can say that now. Old configuration of Atlanta.
Yeah, the old configuration. Maybe the last time we get to see it in this league, the Outlaw Sim Series, as probably by the time we're back here for Atlanta the second time, we will be on the new configuration, the new paving with the new banking at Atlanta. So very good slate of races coming up. Road Atlanta, of course, Silverstone and Spa Francorchamps, such iconic tracks, all 3 of them. So hosting some amazing racing. I cannot wait to watch it. And you can catch all of the broadcasts on our social media accounts here at Pit Stop TV. You can catch us on Facebook.com/PitStopTV, Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV, and Twitter.com /PitStopTV_, YouTube.com/C/Pit_Stop TV1. You can also catch us on Twitch, Emerson.
Twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV. Well, that's going to do it from the Nashville Fairgrounds. We're happy to have had you all here tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We're all at Pit Stop TV tonight. Just Devin Zimmerman beside me on the mic. I am Emerson Arden. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow night for the North American Racing League GT3 season opener at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta, or next Wednesday night for the Outlaws Sim Series round number 5 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway.